the things that you said. I don't wanna burn all our bridges ahead. I'm tired of going to bed when you left me on red just to turn up the noise in my head. I told you that one day ain't never enough. You tell me I hate you, I still call you up. If we don't got trust, we can never have love. I was putting in the hours, I was. But you were calling me a liar, 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 liar. I've been putting in the hours, I was. And it's coming down to now and never. I was putting in the putting in the
All right, everybody. Hello and welcome to week 2 of the Luxe series. My name is Ice Fireeyed. I'm joined by Lash tonight, and we have a series for us tonight between Sad Frost and Vibin Out Vex. Lash, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing fantastic. Great to be here. We had a little bit of issues starting out today, but we will no longer have any, fingers crossed, actually, knock on wood, that no issues will happen tonight. But I agree. I think we have an absolute smash hit of a match to watch tonight. Vibin Out versus Sad Frost. This is a match I haven't seen before. I've seen Vibin Out before. They have some insane they got some insane plays, some insane team chemistry to play off of. But I also know that Sad has got some stuff up their belt as well. So I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens.
Absolutely. As we are getting map bans on screen here in just a few seconds, We're starting off on Ascent, and some interesting things about these teams and this map in general is a lot of you may recognize Sad Frost from the Game Changers Open qualifiers matchups that are happening right now. They're very big in that scene. Also, if you're watching the 10X series, they're very popular there as well. And for Vibin Out and Sad Frost, they like to play a mirror matchup on this. Most of their past matchups, they run the Omen, the KO, the Sova, the Killjoy, and the Jet. That's just a really strong composition. It's very typical on Ascent to see that. I don't usually see any differences in that. You might see a KO swapped for something else, maybe if you want to go for a double duelist, but really this double sentinel, double controller style is really what works so well on this map.
Yeah, it's all the close quarters areas that you're able to smoke off with 1, 2 smokes if you're a dome smoke, or even just one wall. I mean, you play a Harbor or Viper on here, you're able to cut off half the sight line on the map. So I totally agree with that double sentinel, double controller comp. It just locks it down. It's very, very volatile, very deadly, and also really hard to play around. And sometimes even if you're on the defending team trying to keep up with those smokes and block people out, sometimes you cut yourself off. So it's a delicate balance.
Absolutely. And I'm really going to be keeping my eyes on Cokes and Astralis from Sad Frost. These are two very big playmakers. They're the ones that are the front of the team, the top fraggers, but you can't really just rely on those two. The entire team wholly steps up and make plays of their own. So this is one holistic squad that makes a big, big difference. And then on the side of VO, of Vibin Out Vex, they're a relative unknown compared to Sad Frost. There isn't much information on them. They're not on VLR. Their Rib GG is a little bit sparse when it comes to recent matches. So we're going to be looking to see for them to be stepping up here as we get into game here in just a few seconds. They're definitely the underdogs coming into this on the side of Vibin Out Vex, but you can't count them out. It's a storied organization within Tier 3, and they step up when it matters. They're going to be starting out on defense with Sad Frost on the attack. And what are you looking for coming into this as we are getting into Agent Select right now?
I mean, I'm coming into this agent select looking for basically what we expect here on Ascent. I mean, a very, very typical setup. I'm expecting absolutely a Killjoy. I'm expecting a KO, an Omen, or a Viper, depending on, you know, personal preference. And it looks like we're getting a double initiator comp from Vibin Out Vex, something that, I mean, it's pretty typical. Used to be very, very prevalent before, you know, controllers started taking over, and it still has a lot of potential. It can be very aggressive, especially with how much information that the combo of KO's 0 point, as well as the sonar dart and drone that Sova has. It's going to be able to draw a lot of attention. It's going to be able to find a lot of valuable information. And I think there's the mirror matchup coming out from Sad Frost, double initiator compositions on Ascent, very, very reminiscent of 2021, 2022 competitive, and overall just, you know, tournaments all in general. I mean, you know what to expect. You know what kind of firepower they're working with, and it's going to be a brawl.
Absolutely. It's one of these that the map has been around for so long that the meta has kind of been set in stone. It's not like Abyss where it's recent, people are still trying to feel out, you know, what's good, what's the best meta for it, but it is all about what comes in and how you play today on the day of, and I just can't wait to get into it and see what these teams bring to the table.
Yeah, and as these two teams are gearing up, getting ready to go, we're going to be seeing a decent bit of a default coming out here from Sad Frost, wanting to get pick and pry at the defense, see where they're kind of set up, see what the default is, because although these team comps are very, very well known, each team can put their own little twist on how they want that set up. But it looks like they're going to be angling a little bit more towards the A site here. All the pings coming out. Dart coming first, and there is the sonar dart coming out. Very, very good. Gonna be able to clear those close angles here. Cooks is inching up. Has spike in hand. Batson gonna be able to find one. Eek! Holding ground, able to find a third. Vibin Out, holding this down like no tomorrow here. Stay on the site here with Cokes. Spike has been planted. Default gen. Now it's just a standstill here. Wanted to get some utility out here. Block off lines of sight. Neek very, very low on HP here. Wanted to play more for utility. Getting that knife in as well. Cokes spotted out. Having to get some crossfire from Heaven. Able to find 1-2. But ultimately Sours is going to close that one out. Securing the pistol round for Vibin out Vex.
Really good pistol round from Vibin out Vex there on the defense to secure it. You could see that they were able to take a lot of, I think it was Neek there, taking 2 kills just right off the bat. Very well done in that little corner spot that they had no control over. And then they were able to push into it and make sure everything went their way on that retake. Really well done on the side of Vibin out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Neek having that discipline to stay in that spot, hold down that map control after getting those 2 picks. Even though they were low on HP, they needed to stay there, needed to stay strong and do any damage and gain any utility as possible. But we're getting a trade of knives out here. No more utility going to be used in this choke point here. Sours having to back off, and their Omen is not on site here. No smokes to hold them back, but Nico doesn't care. Going to sit down Cokes, shutting down one of their primary initiators. Info Gatherer is going to shut down a lot of the site take as he finds another onto Astralis. But put down to 1 HP, stay, fire through that box, and just take them out. Picking up a Guardian, converting a weapon for themselves here. The Batson and 3 down in the middle of mid here. Wanting to back off, wanting to try and find a little bit better comfortability and hold on to the map control they have left here. Wanted to back up Batson. Getting a little antsy. Wanted to go for a pick here. Get that equalizing kill to try and bring them back into this round. Alright, gone off. Info has been gathered. Batson down to 12 HP. Wanted to go up, stay. Gonna try and grab this orb right here. Get 1 point away from the shadows here. Every one of them has some chip damage taken, but Wake full HP here with an Ares, and there's the end of that. A flawless anti-eco round for Vibin out Vex.
Absolutely. Really, really well played. Once again, they stifle that initial hit. They rotate beautifully around, knowing that there was nothing else coming out. And then they just set up the perfect counter to make sure that no matter what Vibin out decided to do, there was just too many bodies there for them to take it. And that is just because they were prepped and ready for what was about to happen.
Yeah, and I mean, having a great anti-eco like that really sets them up for success here. I mean, they're able to save 5 weapons coming into this next round with the full buy, potentially having the ability to convert some weapons over into full rifles here, and really showing as sad as not wanting to push up as aggressively as before, not wanting to take those firefights that they're really not sure what to expect, what site they're going to be on, how spread out they're going to be playing. They don't want to be losing these rifles after that 2-round loss in a row. Shock Dart's trying to bring some of that utility, going to be bringing that owl drone up, clear that space out there, but ultimately knifed out of it. So Nico and the rest, Vibin out Vex, are inching up here into A main. They're wanting to get some of these close quarters battles here. There's only going to be a pick there. Wake with the long range Ares is going to take out Stay. Their only anchor there is the rest of the team. Sad Frost has to go through here in mid. Trying to find it. Australia's going to be able to find Sours, though. Almost equalizing the player advantage here. Wanting to back off. Cokes getting on site. Having to clear out this back and boathouse. But ultimately, 3 down, and Australia's going to be able to find 2 more picks, putting Vibin out Vex for the first time in a player deficit here. Sad Frost, only 1 player up. Neek coming around the back. Would try and get a nasty flank on them. Try and find a timing, but 3 down, is ready for it and gets the kill. Backing off, knowing the knife is coming. Self gets scanned out. Dart doesn't scan anything until now. Just having to go through. Wall bangs coming out as well. Not really sure what to expect here. Wants to go for some exit frags here. Not wanting to take away that many weapons. But ultimately 3 down is going to end up finding the 3K for that round.
It was just really well done. They were able to counter rotate again. And the slower rotate, this time from the attack, they slowed it down. They said, hey, we need to spend some time here just to take our time, push through, and make sure that nothing was crazy happening. And it worked out beautifully for them. The defense didn't know what they needed to do, and they were able to capitalize on that beautifully.
Yeah, and even speaking here, Vibin out Vex did do a great job taking away a lot of those weapons from Sad Frost, putting them into an economy deficit here. But Batson gonna be able to find Nico there, upgrading one of their weapons that they may have saved on this previous round. Sour's just trying to wait in that smoke, wait for someone to get a little bit too eager, peek out, and maybe try and find an equalizing pick there as the dart comes out. Can end up scanning, updrafting away, expending that only piece of utility there. Down. Wanted to go up here into mid, try and find it. Sours appears to know. There's the flash coming through. Full flash there. On to 3 down and stay. And it's just a standstill here on these sites. As Neek having to teleport back away, using both of those to sneak away safely there as Wake is finally able to find the equalizing pick. And 3 downs. Got something to say about it, though. Fighting it out. Killjoy versus Killjoy. Now it's a 3v3 on site here. Batson will be able to find Wake right there. Completely oblivious. But Self just locking it down as a great Killjoy main, able to find those equalizing picks here. He needs to push in. They've doubled up. They're going to be taking these 2v1. It really depends on the aim training and how the team chemistry goes. Batson having to back off. The wall bangs, leaving it once again down at 1 HP. It's in hand. Now they've had to split up. He can Self just trying to play off of each other, but the mind games are too much. Self finally able to find Batson on the back. Cokes all up to Cokes right here, right now. There's the sonar dart coming out. Not gonna scan Self, and Neek able to secure the 3rd round for Vibin out Vex.
And another just well-played round for Vibin out Vex on the defense. They're delaying long enough that they're forcing Sad Frost to make plays, down members, not able to do anything. And it means that for Vibin out, they always have that advantage moving it, except for that one round. Their rotations have been immaculate, making sure that they always have a numbers advantage and a gun advantage wherever they move on the map. And this is what makes them a very good force to be reckoned with in these scenarios.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And immediately Sad Frost put back onto a half eco buy here. Only having enough for a couple hero rifles to try and turn this round in their favor. Try and give them as much of an advantage as they can. Maybe convert some weapons, take those pistols, turn them into rifles, but may not happen as that KO knife did come through. Scanning 3 of them. 3 of Sad Frost over in B main. Cutting off those jet knives for just a moment. Cokes wanting to go up here, rotating over to the A site, but Vibin out seems to know about it. They're backing off. The 3 of them are waiting outside of A, ready to pounce on Sad Frost the moment they make any noise here. And there it is. There's the knife coming through, scanning Neek. Unable to place any smokes, but it's smoked off. A potentially advantageous one for him as well. Inching up, and they kind of just have free sight here. Trellis almost getting peeked out by Self there. Surprised that they didn't see that. Now in hell here. Self being very, very disciplined. Doesn't want to overpeak. Wants to wait for some teammates. There's the molly coming in. Nico trying to support. Ultimately gets shut down. And Cokes with the long-range sheriff. Able to find Self. Able to take it down and giving them a little bit of an advantage here. But Batson able to find Sars as well. Wake getting it back. Getting some good trades here. And they're really taking it slow, and it's going to pay off here as Nico's able to find Astralis, but 3 down. Able to find a good trade. Stay. Able to make it happen now. It's a 1v2. Wake, last one alive here. Make that 2, but 3 down. Through the wall is able to make it happen, bringing them only 1 round down in round 6.
And it comes through once again with how these rotations are coming, the gun advantages, and finally, for Sad Frost, they were able to make that work. They were able to get into a site and have the advantage, be able to set up a post plant that was nigh impenetrable for Vibin out Vex to make something happen with. And that's what they need to continue doing. It was slow, it was quiet, it was methodical, and it was beautifully executed where there was just no entrance for Vibin out Vex the entire time.
Yeah, it was a great post-plant scenario there. Vibin out Vex just really didn't give them a lot to worry about pushing into A. Didn't give them any confrontations or any chance to lose out on any players overall. which really just secured their post-plant ability because they could just use a bunch of utility, trade off of each other, and get aggressive with the pistols and eco weapons that they had. And we just gave Sad Frost the advantage there. A complete coincidence, and there's Nico able to do a little bit of damage, but ultimately getting taken down by Australis. Opening up the site, pings are coming out from Vibin Out Vex, and Neek trying to inch up into heaven here, trying to find some chip damage or anything they can obtain here on their eco. Stay wants to hop up on top of that generator. Is it expected from Neek and Wake here? It looks like it is. They're just waiting for it, and not sure what that was from mid, from Sours, just running it down as 3 down is going to put that KO in the ground. Now Sad Frost, 5v3. Vibin Out Vex barely has any weapons and firepower to work with. They need to get a couple picks here if they want any chance of bringing it back. Just 3 down. Going to find another kill, but quickly traded out by Self. Australis is going to end up equalizing that pick. Wake, last one alive here. Sheriff in hand only against Batson, able to make it happen. Shooting the body. A little bit of disrespect there, but ultimately it's going to end up falling in the hands of Sad Frost, tying it up 3-3.
And they, again, this quiet execute that they don't know where they're hitting till the last second, and then whenever they do get in, it's a quick fan out that makes them very hard to track and understand where they're coming from and the best way to enter quickly, because whenever it happens, the rotations coming out from Vibin Out are just a little too slow right now, and they're not able to make the plays that they need to make in order to try to hold these sites. And unfortunately for them, they're losing out because of the slow rotates, and they just can't get the numbers that they need.
Yeah, and that's the one thing Vibin Out is really good at that I touched on last time I was commentating one of their matches, was they are really, really unexpected in their plays, but once they get a play that works, they almost keep doing it to a fault there. They make it so predictable, and then they keep doing everything the same way. It's very effective, but not against teams that are able to adapt and change their play style on the fly like Sad Frost. Sours inching up there, trying to find that fight, able to do some chip damage there to 3 down, trying to shut down their cross-map anchor that holds as much control as possible, immediately putting him down really, really low HP. Going to end up losing B main there, but the turret is going to remain active, holding that space passively, well, until they recall it back, now taking all that mid space. And really, Vibin Out Vex hasn't really moved an inch there, playing 2-2 each site. So Nico has got the op. They're going to peek it out, sees the barrel of the gun, unable to make it happen, and ultimately gets pushed off of it. And, ooh, just barely able to make it out of there with their life. They're having to drop down and completely give up A site, waiting for the rotates to come through. Hunter's Fury coming out, gonna be able to find Batson, equalizing the numbers here, 4-4. Wake getting ready to use that utility, and there's the null command coming out, shutting down the entire defense. They have no utility to use and nothing but their guns to clap back with. Nico, still wanting to get a piece of that action, is going to be going for 3 down here. Just waiting for that peak. They know it's coming. Man, it is just a standstill of utility here. Trying to make something happen, then now it's just a slaughterhouse. Whew.
It really was a slaughterhouse. I mean, the control that Vibin Out had over that was none. It was all Sad Frost there from the moment they executed onto the site. It took some time to get it going, but once it happened, it was all over for what Vibin Out was looking for to try to retake. The op from the jet just was not enough to make anything happen. And because of that, everything faltered because they could not get those opening picks from that gun to make a play happen. And whenever you have a gun like that, you have to make something happen. Otherwise, you're just wasting economy at that point.
Yeah, I mean, that first shot accuracy really is important and can honestly decide rounds. I mean, as seen before, I mean, if Batson went down off of that initial swing, who knows what would have happened? It could have stopped the entire execute right in its tracks, allowed enough time for rotates to come through, and just completely shifted the round. Now we're going to see some very aggressive plays coming in here, and Self going to be able to find one before getting taken out, but Sours is going to be able to find two. Put down to 16 HP. Null Command now online. Flash getting sent out. Not going to blind very much as they're in really close quarters here, but stay ready for this peak to come out. It's a 2v4. Wake getting ready with that utility there. Nico has those blades out. Can get really aggressive here, but doesn't have the dash or the updraft. Only has the Cloudburst to work with here. A lot of utility coming through. Going to be able to find Stay, but put down by 3 down. Now dropping. It's going to be a 3-person peak, and not going to be able to find anything. Wake takes the final kill on that, tying it up once again, 4-4.
And another really good round coming out from Vibin out. They got a really good Thrifty. You cannot discount Sheriffs. I see it time and time again. Teams just, for whatever reason, don't respect the Sheriff buy. And they don't respect the absolute headshot potential coming out and the amount of damage that one can do. And they don't check corners. Like, they clear it and then they don't recheck it because of a repeak. And it's just really disappointing to see from a team like Sad Frost that stuff like that is still happening whenever they're practiced enough to know that's not how that works.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's really just unlucky there as the KO did get taken out really, really early on in the round. Wasn't able to use flashes, was barely able to use the 0 point there, but Stay going to be able to find the first pick there onto Nico. Lockdown activated, 3 seconds until activation here. Batson's rolling in, going to try and clear out that back area as much as possible, get a good vantage point with the operator. No players tagged, no players detained, and now it's just kind of up to Vibin out Vex for their retake potential here. It's an even 4v4. The thing is, Vibin out Vex still has smoke. Sad Frost doesn't have any any holding smokes that they can do for this post plant here. Meek really just has free reign over sight blocking ability, which is really going to be detrimental for this operator. Going in, never mind, it's not. Batson able to find Sours and Wake, getting a collateral kill there. Getting KO Sours down. 5 seconds left for the res. Neek can be able to find a pick on the back, equalizing, but Batson's going to be able to find a third.
I mean, talk about that collat kill right there. Well done to the Opper to make that happen. Battison coming up huge. Not one of the names that you normally see on the side of Sad Frost, but coming in and coming up huge. And just once again, showing why it's not just one player on the squad, but all 5 that can make plays and come up big whenever the team needs it most.
Absolutely. I mean, looking at the difference between getting that first pick with the operator versus Nico, it really just shows in the volatility and just how deadly and how round deciding that operator can be in the right hands of any player, especially a Jet with that get out of free card potential there. Battison ready, wanting to go in, wants to go for some more blood there, but ultimately can't make it happen with that door closing way too quick. Wanting to go for something bigger, going for a play. Knows that somebody is standing right there in that smoke trying to find it, and there's that lockdown coming out from Vibin out Vex. And Meek, even with 3 HP, peeking out very aggressively there. Perhaps the wrong play, overheated a little bit, but Self and Nico picking up where they left off. Immediately shutting down a lot of their sight control there as the lockdown goes off. 3 down, trying to hold it back, and man, it's just Nico playing with it. It's the pistol for the win.
And it was a little bit of a rough collapse for Vibin out, but they made it work. They were able to overcome the early difficulties of their post-plant retake and just use overwhelming force to get in and make the plays happen that they needed to make. And it was Self. Like, Self got 2 massive kills that really set everybody up for success on that squad.
Right, absolutely. And it was just really good team chemistry there, able to make it happen, and knowing and having that faith in your team to just stick that spike diffuse really shows. I mean, you got 2 players just throwing themselves at the enemy. Oh my gosh, Nico. Going in, shutting it down, 4K. There is ace potential online here for Vibin out's Nico, but ultimately definitely overheated there a little bit, putting him up for the first time since the beginning of this match. Best
respect the play.
Frost can hope for here is 6-6. Vibing out, definitely comfortable in their position.
Yeah, and I respect the play that Nico was trying to make. A little, like you said, a little bit overheated, but overall, like whenever you're sitting on it on a potential ace like that, you got to try something, and it's the fun stuff like that.
You can't blame him. He did get a quick 3K. Yeah. It's just what you expect from a duelist. I mean, you want to go in, you want to take those fights. Playing cautious is just playing the game wrong if you're playing Jet. But Sad Frost going for a bit of a switch up here, wanted to do a 5-man down A, and it's just a bullet storm here. Neek and Self really locking down that lane and not allowing for really anybody to peek out. Stay barely able to switch those guns, and it's just a hailstorm of bullets there. Barely getting a chance to grab the spike, but able to find it. Either way, it's Nico once again bringing it back, and there's that from the shadows. Going to be teleporting all the way over to B. As expected, it's a 5v1. This is a clutch or kick situation here. Eyes Fireside. Fireeyed. My apologies.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's. You can see they lay out the smoke here, not quite understanding where they're rotating from, and it's a hard play here. I mean, 1v5. If you make this play, you're almost a god. But the spray through the smoke. What more can we say?
Yeah, there really isn't much to say, and that was a very quick halftime deciding round right there. 7-5 going into the second half. Vibin out Vex up 2 rounds with a very, very good and flawless way to round out that half. But now the roles are reversed. How is Sad Frost's defense going to differ from Vibin out Vex? Are they going to have different compositions? Are they going to have a different way of playing? Like what kind of aggressiveness or passiveness are they going to have here?
I want to see more aggression. I want to see more aggression coming out of Sad Frost to make some of these plays that Vibin out Vex were able to counter. And I want to see an aggressive defense. I think that they work really well with that. And if you let Vibin out make the plays that they want to make, you're starting to throw whatever you have away, and it's going to be very difficult for you.
Yeah, it looks a very passive opening here. Vibin out Vex having a very similar look to how Sad Frost started out their attacking side here. Vibin out wanting to go up and get some work cat a little bit, and there's the flash coming out. Ultimately not going to result in a kill, but definitely results in some fear here as Molly's coming out. Nico's going to be able to draw first blood there. Wanted to go for another Coax, able to find one. 3 down, barely able to find that one onto Nico. With that quick 3-tap Batson, going to be able to find one as well. Now it's a 2v3. Sad Frost up 1 player. Nick tapping the spike, wants to get it out. Over a minute left in the round, and the spike is already down. Waiting for this door to come crashing down, and there it is. Waiting for a peek out, expecting a lot of aggression here, but ultimately is going to be able to find one from 3 down here. Wake, ready for it. Finding a kill onto there, having to go back, but it's the double peek from Coax. And Batson going to be able to almost equalize it up, putting him 1 round down and putting him in a really good place economically for the next round.
Yeah, and this should even it out. You know, it is an anti-eco. It should go to the side of Sad Frost, but nothing is ever guaranteed in Valorant. That is one of the tenets of Valorant, is nothing is ever guaranteed. No round is ever yours, even if you have a gun advantage. And for this squad, they need to clean up their play on the side of Sad Frost in order to close out this map, because we've seen better from them, and it's interesting that they're losing in such fashion some of these rounds.
Yeah, I think it's mostly just the unpredictable playstyle of Vibin out Vex, able to come up with a bunch of different plays on the fly, and just the team chemistry they have and trust in each other's aim and abilities here. That's really kind of putting Sad Frost like kind of off their angle there. Having to try and compensate for, I mean, some plays that they probably never come across before. Similar team composition, but I mean, like I said before, it is a tough scene with how many different plays and abilities that these teams have to offer. And Batson, oh my gosh, clean aim, able to find Sours and Nico, shutting down a lot of their mid control, but Nick might have something to say about it here. Zestrellis is inching up there. Like I said, Neek will be able to find Batson. Stay going to end up shutting that down. 3 down, finding Neek as well. It's just down to Self. Only has a classic in hand, 19 HP. Has some mollies, but ultimately it is not going to be very beneficial there. And it's just a 3-person hold angle here. There it is. Only able to take away one weapon, and ultimately it was the outlaw, that, you know, arguably the worst weapon to bring into the bonus round, but ultimately they are sitting very good economically.
Yep, and in this bonus round now, it's all about just like doing as much economy damage as you can to Vibin out, and putting yourself on the upper hand for whenever you're on the other side of this bonus. It's one of the hardest rounds to win in Valorant, and it's going to be up to them to make the miracle play and come up with a big W, or at least do enough economy damage where, you know, you can come back from that.
Yeah, and it's going to be really tough here on this execute as 3 down, just narrowly grabbed by that paranoia. And it's just an absolute hailstorm there, running into just a firing line as Sours is going to be able to find that pick. Nico updrafting over the wall, going to try and catch Cokes off guard, but missed, and now that's a double for Cokes. Neek finally shutting down that absolute monster, holding down side. It's a 3v3, but none of the players from Sad Frost are on site yet. Self has got themselves tucked in, right in logs. Neek ready to go on that long angle. It's just going to be a lot of utility to try and get that out. Self able to find one before finally getting put down by Stay, and it's a spray, but Stay is going to stay standing. Wake in the back, going to try not to give away too much of the position there, but it doesn't matter. Aim just on point. 8-7. Welcome to round 16.
And I mean, for what we saw in that last round, that's exactly what Sad Frost was looking for. Yeah, you almost win that round. Not quite, but it was really, really close. Now it's all about just coming back from this from that round. You have the gun advantage. You're doing well. You have a decent-ish economy to push through, even it back up, and you have the ability to take the lead if you win out on this round too. Now we do have a slight tech pause for one of these players right now. A slight issue coming through that is going to be solved here in just a few moments, hopefully. But from what we've seen out of the past about the past 15 rounds right now, these are two very evenly matched squads that are both hungry for a win and have protocols in place for this map that give them the opportunity to do so. There's still a lot more work to be done. I think that the aggression coming out from Sad Frost is what we wanted to see. I think that if they tone it back just a little bit, not play as aggressive, I think it works out perfectly. It's a fine line and it sounds really weird, but I think that's the best way to move forward for them. And then for Vibin out, just continue to poke and prod and try to find that opening pick before executing, because when you have the person advantage, it almost always has gone your way.
Oh, absolutely. And like we said, it'll hopefully be solved very, very soon. But these two teams just going back and forth. I mean, just like you said, they both have protocols. They both have plans in place for different scenarios, for different, I mean, team chemistries, for different plays they want to do in response to some counter strats or some adaptation on the other side. I mean, this goes for both of these teams here. I mean, especially Sad Frost going 2-0 to start out the match, and quickly adapting, and then Vibin out Vex when they started getting on a roll. They took a second. In between the rounds, they'd said, okay, look, we got to switch up our team composition. We got to put the KO over on A site now so we can lock down a lot of that information. We got to anchor Sova in mid. We got to make all of that happen. But ultimately, we're going to have to see which team is going to adapt faster, because really that's what it comes down to.
Absolutely. This tech pause is going to take us a little bit longer than expected to get through. So we're going to send it to a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be here back for game 1 between Vibin out Vex and Sad Frost. So don't touch those browsers. Don't go anywhere. We'll solve this tech issue right quickly.
All right, and we are back. Got those tech issues all ironed out there, and we are right back into the match here. Round just started. Batson immediately starting it off strong off the tech pause, taking Self out of the equation right off the bat there, completely putting Vibin out Vex in a standstill here. Wanting to try and get an equalizing pick here. Wants to try to move up, gain some map control here. But ultimately, it's a standstill. Sadfrost know they have the upper hand. They know they have the player advantage, and they want to keep a hold of it. They don't want to overpeak. They don't want to over-aggress and try and give themselves... They're trying not to shoot themselves in the foot here, really. As Batson holding that tight angle here. Not able to see the direct opening in there, but holding that space nonetheless. And it looks like they're going to be rotating over and making their way over towards B side. 45 seconds left in the round. Still plenty of time to work with here. The Sad Frost still has a lot of utility and just a lot of patience they have too. Neek sending out the utility. They know the team's right behind them, but they need to gain some space here. Turret getting taken down. Bolt! Ooh. Cokes taking down Nico. Could be shutting down a lot of that space-making ability there, but ultimately is suppressed in the back. Neek going to be able to find a pick, but Cokes shutting that down hard. Able to find a third and a fourth. Equalizing it again. 8-8.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a very back and forth matchup between these two squads. We said it during just before the break that these are two very evenly matched squads that know what they want to do and are executing on it for the most part. And this is what happens when you get that kind of performance from two teams, and it is just a pleasure to watch, and sometimes you just have to soak in the moment.
Man set up here. Vibin out Vex switching it up. This is the first 5-man rush down B that they have done during this game. That wasn't a pistol round or a save round here. 3 down. Going to be able to find the first pick onto there. Shutting it down by a lot. And completely slowing their take of sight. Stay. Reinforcing that. Taking down Self. Now it's back to a standstill. These two teams, they make each other so nervous. They don't know what to expect. And Cokes barely missing Neek there. Wasn't able to see that close corner. But 3 down. And Cokes just really anchoring down this B site so that they can really just feel comfortable in A. And it is just a standstill here. Neek has to get an equalizing pick here, but just pixels away from finding that head. His ultimates are online. Cokes has the Hunter's Fury.
30 seconds left.
Both. Ooh, so much utility just trapped in the box there. Cokes shutting it down onto Neek. They're trying to find anything. Sours finally able to get a pick. Almost getting 2. Make that 2. Australis finding out Wake. 3 down. Very, very low on HP. Having to throw out that Molly. Sours, last one alive, 30 HP as well. Down to 24. Ultimate online, probably not going to be the best use case for this. We have 6 seconds, and there's 3 down. Shutting it down and putting Sad Frost up 1 round once again, going into round 18.
And another just solid round defensively, holding their ground. Those opening picks coming in huge, and it stifles the attack of Vibin out to where they don't have a counterplay after that, because there's so much other just pressure that they're afraid to back out of that, because they're afraid that wraparound is going to come through and they're going to get taken out.
Yeah, there's a lot of just uneasiness on both of these teams, not knowing what kind of aggression or what kind of passiveness that they need to make any good plays happen here. I mean, Vibin out, put on an eco once again, but the last time they were on an eco, they could really shut stuff down with these sheriffs. Able to make some great kills, able to get some just great moments and thrifties out of it. But it really comes down to the individual firefights here. And the jump peek out of there, and the flash, perfect timing. Able to find Neek, shutting down all the smokes, and shutting down a lot of map control potential that they used to have only moments ago. Sours, 32 HP, wanting to creep up, wants to get an equalizing pick. but isn't going to find anything. Once again, Sad Frost, very disciplined. Not getting too greedy, not getting too aggressive, not feeding any kills to Vibin out Vex here. Spike angled a little bit more towards the A site here. Cokes having to use that owl drone to find some information. They don't want to get blindsided, but ultimately isn't able to find much other than no players in mid. There's some information being gathered there over on A and just trying to push in there. Batson not able to make that first shot happen. Smoked off, wanted to go for round 2 here. Try and make something happen. There's Self, gonna get taken down by Batson. Nico able to find an equalizing pick, but 3 down, has something to say about it. It's just a 2v1, and now it's 4v0. There's the 10th round for Sad Frost, putting him up 2 and that much closer to taking this map.
And it was another one of these rounds, opening pick into a stalled attack from Vibin out that turned into another collapse around from the squad. That it's just unmatched once again from Sad Frost. Vibin out needs to adapt to come up with something, otherwise they are going to lose with only 8 rounds to their name.
Yeah, I mean, looking at how these two teams played, I mean, we're seeing a mirror match here. Both teams are playing very, very similarly to how each other played on their respective sides. I mean, we're getting initial picks followed by dead silence from both of these halves here. It's really the definition of a mirror matchup here. Teleports and util being thrown around like crazy. Nico able to find it. Neek following up. There's so much damage that's going to be happening. Self able to find it. Vibin out Vex just getting so much confidence. Where did this confidence come from?
I don't know, but it probably starts off with being able to push the op off of their initial look, which was highly aggressive and very ego. That is unnecessary, right? So like if you have an op that close, like it should be sitting in the, like, not in boathouse, but like back towards the defender spawn into B site. Sit it back there and cover. You don't need to sit up close in order to cover that side, because you're just opening yourself up to get counterpicked, and that's not going to help you at all. So I think that was a big portion of it, because they were able to push the op off. It had to reset, that there was just nothing else that they could do.
Yeah, and Cokes once again using so much utility and so well, but the adaptation from Vibin out Vex here, immediately using the knife, immediately shooting it out with the paranoia as well, shuts down a lot of information. I mean, other than so much utilities being used, probably heard 3 or 4 players B main alone, immediately prompting rotates and prompting aggression in mid here. And it looks like we might be getting a mid brawl as well. Stay choosing not to participate in that. Wants to be backing up. Australia's realizing that they don't want to be taking this fight very optimally. Be backing up into that corner, gonna try and have Stay bait for him. Bring that around, and it's so perfect. But Wake gonna be tying it back up and putting Vibin out Vex once again up in the player advantage, as A side has been left completely unattended. But 3 down is locking down mid, taking down Wake and putting the spike on the ground here, and Self is really just locked in, only 1 HP.
30 seconds left.
Does Leak know?
Last player standing.
Cokes ends up finding... Oh my gosh, they think that Neek teleported over to A. The perfect ruse from the shadows. Bringing it down to the 1v2 here. Lockdown and Hunter's Fury are available for Sad Frost, should they want to try and really secure the round advantage. But no, the perfect timing from 3 down is going to shut that down. 11 to 9, Sad Frost.
It just comes out once again from the fighting around mid. It went to the side of Vibin out that there was just no counterplay. Once they hit that execute, if their execute fails, they don't have a backup plan for wherever they are on the map, and it's starting to show that they're faltering a little bit on their attack, and they don't, without those backup plans, it's not going in their favor.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're getting another full buy coming out here. Economy is kind of faltering there for Vibin out Vex. The Sad Frost's economy is also very, very volatile here. I mean, it's coming down to 1-2 players alive every single time, so no economy is going to be super stable as a guarantee. They're getting a lot of utility right off the bat, trying to shut down a lot of these aggressive pushes. 3 players are suppressed there from Astralis. Molly's coming out, trying to make them back off, and it really is just a standstill here in A main once again. Stay going out into Cat, making sure that there's not going to be a pinch here. Onto A, and it looks like Self might be walking right into that trap. Stay fall. Self falls to stay. Madison ready for it, has that operator in hand. They know it's there, but the smoke doesn't matter. Nico falls. Another operator kill. Has big possibility here, but Stay doesn't need it. Able to find 3 for the round, and Astralis cleans up. Losing only 1. Welcome to match point.
Match point.
Match point for Sad Frost in a dominant round to set themselves here. The op from Madison absolutely putting in work this round. It stifles Nico being able to get into sight, and then it slowed everybody else down, so it gave time for the rest of the squad to rotate around through that door and make sure that there was nowhere for anybody to go. Now, for Vibin out Vex, they're taking a timeout here. They're trying to come up with a game plan because they need 3 rounds back to back to back in order to just force overtime. And that is not a place that you want to be in as a squad right now. And against a team like Sad Frost, it's that much more difficult whenever you can tell that their protocols are working for them right now. They have game plans for everything that you're bringing out. So you have to come up with a novel idea to work for 3 rounds without Sad Frost being able to adapt to it. And that's what's so difficult for them right now.
Sorry about that. I was having some audio issues here, but I'm sure that your insight was very, very credible here during that timeout. I think my audio is working.
Yes.
You there, Ice? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Sorry, had a little bit of tech issues there, but I got it solved within the timeout, so I appreciate the stalling for me. But going back in here, Sad Frost on a humongous economy advantage here going into their match point. I mean, Nico really need to pull out those knives and having really, really weak weapons in comparison, but he's going to be able to find a pick regardless, upgrade that, getting an operator to be used later in the round. But ultimately, I think Nico's going to be going with the blades. A little bit more versatile, especially on these eco rounds. They want to capitalize off of it. Still over a minute left in the round, and Sad Frost is just ready with this high-low setup there in Garden. Throwing some flashes, but it's not going to work. Astralis and 3 down. Going to shut down the entire cap. Pressure there. Up 4-3. Teleport coming through. Neek. Going to be able to dodge the suppress and get that spike planted there, but Astralis has the ultimate online to be used at any moment there, as well as the lockdown. There's the combo coming through here. Vibin X still has a lockdown that can be used, but not with the no command as 3 down. Takes down Self. It's just up to Neek. Make that up to Wake now. Needs to use the Hunter's Fury here. The defuse is coming through. Doesn't have anything to do, and it's over.
Defenders win.
Astralis finds Wake in the back. 9-13. Making the first map, Sad Frost. I believe that's that was the team that we had had predicted the win on, if I'm not mistaken there.
Yeah, I mean, Sad Frost played really well.
Close.
It was so close. And for Vibin out, they always put up a really good fight. They just couldn't close it out in the end. 3 down and stay, going 23 and 19 kills apiece, dropping a 20 bomb for 3 down. Just really well done from that side. And then Nico going 18 and 18, really trying to play that duelist role to the best of their ability. And they did quite well. It just wasn't quite enough whenever you look at what the rest of the squad was bringing out on the side of Sad Frost. There was just no way to keep up whenever the lowest member was 10 and 13, KO and Astralis. Just It's a team effort in Valorant, and Sad Frost showed why today. It can't just be one player, it has to be all. And each time through the rounds, there was never one round where it was just one player. It was always all of them or spread out throughout the round. So just really well played by Sad Frost tonight so far.
Absolutely. And I definitely say Vibin Vex is the underdog here, but they have so much potential and they're so unpredictable that there's a lot of room for them to work. They can work the map in so many different doesn't expect. And ultimately, I mean, looking at this, looking at MVP here, 3 down, 276 ACS, but only one first blood. I'm sure that stat would go to Battison for first bloods. Just given of how aggressive Batson was playing, especially on that attacking side, really opening up those spaces, not afraid to take a fight into an operator with little to no utility and really just making it happen off of there. But ultimately, amazing first match to start week 2 of the Luxe series. And I can't wait to see what happens on the next map of Haven.
Absolutely. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to send it to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be here for the start of map 2 between Vibin Vex and Sad Frost. It's going to be Haven, so don't touch those browsers. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Those medical pills are push me over. I kill my fill 3 times a day. These ethanol fumes won't make me sober. One flame to take the pain away. I caught you lighting matches in the back room. Haters look mad when they pass you. Let's talk about around when it's past due. Reach a glass, do know. still wake up and go to sleep. Everyone's seen death in their dreams, but we still wake up from our sleep. I'll be home soon. You don't gotta fight alone. You don't gotta fight alone. You don't gotta fight alone. Don't be so personal. Take me out of the road. I'm going under. Take me out of the road. I'm going under. Who do you rely on now? I know the worst. I know the worst.
All right, everybody. Hello and welcome back to the Luxe series with the Vibin out Vex dropping the first map to Sad Frost in a very close matchup, 13-9. But we're moving now on to map 2, which is going to be Haven. And this is a little bit of a different map. Obviously, it's a 3-site map. And Vibin out don't really have any information. We don't have any information on them on this map in terms of their current iteration. So at least for them, we don't have any information, but at least for Sad Frost, we do have a little bit. They like to play the Omen, Breach, Sova, Cypher, and Neon. So slightly different look there, swapping out that Jet for the Neon, the Breach coming out instead of the Killjoy. What are your thoughts on that, Lash?
Honestly, I'm not surprised. As soon as Neon kind of got situated into the metas and kind of got a role besides the ADHD slide around character for the TikTok memes, after the value of Neon was really established, it was really clear that Breach is really, really good as a pairment to Neon, as they both have a stun that can be used. I mean, Neon's got the stun that can be used while running in, and I mean, seeing how aggressive that Frost was on that last map, he really kind of I kind of expected it. The double initiator with the Neon is really just a very, very fast paced comp, which I'm not going to be surprised if it comes out here. We're already seeing the Sova being locked in by Cokes. Madison and Stay are hovering that Neon. Not really sure who's going to be picking that one, but Nico pulling out that Neon as well. Neek on the Omen. Sours switching up and going for that Breach. It's 3 down. Locks in Cypher. And a debatable pick here. I mean, Cypher has been growing once again in the meta here as opposed to Killjoy. So it kind of just depends on team preference, I suppose. And Self locking in Cypher as well with Wake going for Sova. Basically the same comp here.
Yeah, I mean,
matchup.
We're only waiting on Astralis' pick that's left, and they so far are playing the same type of composition that we expected. They have the only thing is, yeah, there's the swap to Breach at the end. We're going to get mirrored compositions once again. Battison, who played that Jet last map, is going to be going on to the Neon, and it's going to be the same thing for Nico. So everybody just keeping in their very similar roles, nothing crazy coming out. And with Twitch down now on the, not with Twitch down, with 3 down on the Cypher, excuse me, sorry about that. They are going to have a slightly different role now because they're not playing that Killjoy, but overall still a very similar style of play on that Lurk. So we're going to get into game here in just a few moments. And considering what we saw last map, what are you expecting to see on this one here, Lash?
Honestly, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of Lurks coming out, especially from 3 down. Cypher Cypher is arguably a lot better at lurking around than Killjoy. Killjoy kind of has to have her presence known around the map with the noise that the turret makes, with the alarm bot, because they all have to be within range of Killjoy to be active. So if you see a turret, you have a rough idea of the location of Killjoy, especially if it's activated. If it's deactivated, you know that Killjoy is nowhere around and possibly with the team. So Cypher really has a lot more lurk potential, especially with, the fact that the Cypher doesn't have to be around the utility in order to use it. That spy cam is an absolute unit of a tool, as we're seeing here from the Cypher cam from Self, able to see all the way down into C long here while being in the middle of garage. Coming up here, Batson taking some damage there. Going to get taken down by Neek there. Not allowing for that Neon to go in there quickly. Self's going to be able to trade off. Neek taking it down to a 4v3 here. Wanting to have as much of an advantage as they can going in. They still have a lot of that initiating utility to be used on the defensive side here from Vibin out. 3 down. Wanting to go. It looks like all of them from Sad Frost are wanting to go up here into garage and try and find some utility and some value here, but they seem to realize that all of them are in garage here, but 3 down has something to say about it.
1 enemy remaining.
Trying to find it. There's 2 from Sours and Wake. The Self is going to clean that one up. Very, very good use of utility there, stalling it out and just having trust in their team. And once again, for the second map in a row, Vibin out takes pistol.
And Vibin out has these really good defensive pistols that they're able to chain together a few rounds off of. And especially on Haven, which is an attacking sided map, every single chance you get to take a defensive round, you absolutely 100% thank everybody, take it and run with it, because you know that those are few and far between with how hard it is to get them. So we'll have to wait and see how Sad Frost come back from this and what they decide to do to kind of recollect themselves.
Careful here.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough adjustment here. I mean, it's another mirror matchup, so they know the kind of utility that they're going to be playing against, but they don't know how they're going to be playing against it, as Vibin out is pretty much well known now for being the wild card team, able to pull out some crazy strats there, and Self able to somehow dodge that stun there, able to find a kill, and somehow Self is still alive. Should not be possible, but Nico shutting down Stay in the back site, not allowing anything to come onto the site there. Australia is getting nicked in the head through the wall there, put down to 31 HP as 3 down falls. Folks wanting to get that Sheriff as well. They're just locked in garage here. They have nowhere to go. And they're really not using this anti-eco. They're really not using this this eco buy to try and figure out the setup from Vibin out Vex here, as Nico picks up a 4K for the second round.
Nico starting off strong in this round with a 4K, really starting to stack those ult orbs that for a Neon is super useful to try and make some big plays happen. Just have to wait and see what else that they decide to do to get those online even sooner, because if you drop a little bit in the eco, you still have that to play with.
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe that Sad Frost should have used that eco round right there to try and scope out like where Vibin out Vex is on their defensive plans, because they're running in with a full buy blind into A site, not knowing what kind of utility, how much utility, and Madison barely noticing that tripwire there, ends up getting onto site very, very quickly, throwing out the fast lane. But Self is just bunkered down in A long. Neural Theft coming out. Very, very useful in this situation here. There's a bunch of stuns. Nico and Self able to find him. Batson only able to find 1 kill. 3 down, trying to find as much as possible, but the bonus is going to end up winning that round. 3-0. Vibin out Vex.
And it's just like last map, where they took a very early, very commanding 3-0 lead, and then it was a slugfest from there on out. So we're going to have to see what does Sad Frost decide to come up with to make these plays happen, because if they start to drop more than this, you start to get really, really worried with what's going on, because you can't be dropping a lot of rounds like this without getting something in return. And so far, they have not taken a lot of kills off, and that's what we need to be seeing.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a bunch of converting of rifles and taking bulldogs, converting them into vandals. Like, there's just so much economy advantage that Vibin out Vex is just snowballing off of against some of these kind of poor plays that Sad Frost has been making. And just getting a little bit overconfident, a little bit over aggressive here. I mean, they want to go aggressive with their comp. It's built around it. It's got two initiators. It's got a really good initiating smoke player like Omen with the paranoia, and it's got arguably the fastest site take duelist in the game, being Neon. And there it is, just no utility, no creeping up, except for that one little concuss there, and it's just getting shut down. Everyone is falling and dropping like flies, and Nico is even getting a little bit overconfident there and just diving in on 3 down. It's just reckless gameplay right now.
Yeah, it's reckless. It's not smart. They're running in without any util, without any smoking off of any scenario, of any entrances, and it's allowing the counter to come through. And it's just going down and down and down for the side of Sad Frost.
Yeah, it's not looking good, and it looks like they're going with the same strategy as before. Just going to be bum rushing it down A. Not really sure what kind of differences they're going to make. Stuns, flashes, all the same. Batson finally able to secure a first pick there, but Sours is going to end up shutting that down quickly. Australis, though, going to equalize the numbers, but actually not equalize. Put him up in the player advantage for the first time this game. One thing about Vibin out Vex is they don't give up. They don't start playing passively when they're down in numbers. They arguably get more and more aggressive. Nico wanted to go for a cheeky pick with the op in heaven, but ultimately that neural theft is going to shut down any hope of that happening. Stay only on 30 HP remaining, barely dodging that op from Nico. They're teleporting up into heaven. Not sure if that's going to work. Nico finally able to find a pick onto Australis. Stay going around, able to find it, able to find one, able to find nothing else. His self finally shuts down. Off angle peek from there, Cokes and 3 down, just in the back sight here. Aldrone being sent out, able to find self, very, very little HP left, kind of just baiting. Gonna be going for that recon bolt, but self with little to no HP, able to find a kill onto Cokes. Sour, gonna find it, and self! 1 HP in a dream. Able to find a 3K, securing the 5th round in a row for Vibin out Vex.
What a clutch out. What a clutch out from Self, though, to make that happen. They got those 2 closing kills and held their own in the face of adversity once again to come up with a massive play to put themselves up 5-0 over Sad Frost. And this is a dominating start that you want to see from your squad to start things off on a map when you're down a map.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, considering how Haven is arguably an attacker-sided map here, I mean, 3 sites, the defense is spread much more thin. Seeing 5 rounds in a row right off the bat is just showing pure dominance on this map. And Nico able to find the first pick, shutting down the Neon on the other team, and repositioning immediately. Is Nico going to be ready for anybody pushing in the garage here? And is it just it's a perfect timing. Nico able to find Stay, shutting it down, immediately pinching Sad Frost in such an off area. Oh my gosh, the neural theft out once again, able to find them all. Nico gonna want to rush in here, but flashed out. Perfect flash from Australis, bringing it out. Self able to find 2, shutting down so much possibility, and it's a flawless from Vibin out Vex.
They need to take a timeout. They need to take a timeout here and come up with some sort of plan, because everything is falling apart for them. Down 6-0 after what was a close map 1 that they were able to clutch out. This is your map, and to go down this hard this early is not a good look. You need to recollect yourself, and with it being a buy round, this is the best time to do so that you have an opportunity to make a play. Because right now, what we saw from Sad Frost last map is not here on this map, and they're over peaking not playing as a team, running in one at a time, and not setting up post plants. They're just kind of lazing about in the site, it feels like.
Yeah, no, I agree. They're not playing as disciplined. They're not playing as a team. I mean, it looks like a random squad from a competitive, just random queued together right now, and they're running it down, hoping for the best. Like, they're using team utility and they're being smart, but they're kind of being selfish with a lot of the utility that they're using, and they're not playing off of each other. While Vibin Out Vex is waiting for correct timings, they're using utility together and comboing things so well that Sad Frost really just can't keep up, even though they have 4 ultimates online right now.
Yeah, this is what we wanted to see coming out from Vibin Out Vex last round or last map that we're now seeing on this map. And this is a good look for them. They just need to continue this even through this timeout, even if they lose this round.
Yeah, realistically they do need to kind of take a step back and take a minute and devise a game plan here. I mean, they are coming out hard and fast, but they're not over peaking like they did before. But man, look at this. They're just leaving their Omen there, just right out in the open. Stay. Ultimately, gonna have that owl drone shot out, but I mean, Stay's the only one there. There's nobody there to back them up in case of a trade that's needed from the shadows. May come out here as a rotation tool, but Sad Frost ultimately taking this round a lot slower. I think they really just took a step back, popped off their high horse of adrenaline from winning that last map, and maybe we're gonna see a little bit of a difference here in this round. They're going around breaking utility. This is what a team should be doing. Playing it safe, and ooh, Neek, the perfect one to go behind there, but I think Madison heard something. I think they're expecting this. Yeah, able to find Neek, over-peaking, a little bit overconfident for the past 6 rounds in a row. Well-founded confidence, but overconfidence nonetheless. There's the From the Shadows coming out, and a quick rotate from Sad Frost. Going to open up a world of possibilities here. Vibin Out Vex is on site, though. Ready to bring it back. Stay is going to be able to find the pick on site. Start out this take here. 20 seconds left, but the spike is going to go down. Towers able to find 2. Nico able to find 1. Pop in the overdrive. Could be going in quickly, but Wake able to shut that down and just spraying through the smoke. Nico's going to be able to find it. Shooting some bodies, and that's the 7th round in a row, but that is the closest Sad Frost has been this entire match to taking a win.
And I worry about now a potential, 13-1, 13-2, 13-0 coming out because of how dominant Vibin Out Vex are playing right now. This is shutout Valorant in a way that I haven't seen in Tier 3 in a few months. And it's good to see this style of Valorant coming out because this is what we want to see from these teams, is this style of play, this aggression and this confidence to play these kinds of styles.
Yeah, I mean, look at the versatility of Nico, just hopping back and forth between the two angles and having the 2 initiators on the team there to support if necessary and shut down a push. But Sad Frost is all over the map right now. They're defaulting out, but ultimately they keep doing the same thing. They keep grouping up and keep taking fights and over peaking. And there it is. See, that's the discipline we're looking for there. Sours jump peeking, not just blindly using utility and not being able to follow up with anything, waiting for the perfect time to strike and counterpunch. As there's the overdrive coming through, and immediately whatever plan Sad Frost had there has immediately been shut down. And once again, 3 down, looking for that lurk, and they get taken out by Self, and now it's a 3v5 once again. Stay finally able to take out Nico, but Sours has something to say about it against Coke. Self able to find a 3rd. Can we see a 4th? No! But Wake picks it up, leaving 3 alive, 8-0. It was a good attempt from Sad Frost, but they are just getting caught out in the open with their pants down.
And it's just time and time again, the rotations that they're trying to make, the plays on the map that they're trying to make just are not coming to fruition. And instead, they're getting matched immediately by whatever Vibin Out Vex have brought out for themselves. And if you're Sad Frost right now, you need to come up with something, and quickly, because you're losing this map hard.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at it from in an analytical standpoint here, it is not a good look to be going into the 2nd week. I mean, this is still just the group stages here, and they're putting a precedent out there that they're not good on Haven. And I mean, Vibin out, really just making a statement here that even though there's not a lot of stat background that people can find, sometimes that plays in their advantage. If you don't know what's coming, how can you know how to prepare for it? Is kind of what Vibin out is doing right now. Intentionally or not, it's working for him as Nico's able to find the first pick with the operator once again onto Australis, onto the breach, which on a map like Haven, wherever breach is at, that's where that is where the attack is going. And Self on the spray, almost able to find a second there. Batson and Cokes finally able to get some picks to try and equal that out. But ultimately, the player advantage is still in favor of Vibin out Vex. They have the Rolling Thunder. But Sadfrost has the Hunter's Fury that they could use for post-plant here, should they choose to. Madison does have a really good angle here. No smokes are sent out for Vibin out Vex to try and block this line of sight here. From the operator, and a beautiful tap from Batson. Going to take out Neek immediately, equalizing those numbers until Cokes got in there on Wake. Are we going to think this may be the first round that Sadfrost has a chance to win here? If it's planted in the right location, it's planted for long, sending out that aftershock. Oh, it could be deadly, but Cokes was ready for it. With a 3K for the round, heroing that one out, 8-1. Not going to go down 13-0.
They got one. Now they need to chain together a lot more. Best they can hope for is an 8-4 half, and you better believe that is exactly what they are going for right now. Anything less, and you're going to have to worry about their potential to still come back on this map. And you can see the Rolling Thunder is up and available, and something that should be used.
Absolutely. Here, and Sours has the perfect teleport, or a perfect fault line there to make it happen. Nico seeing that there's a lot of aggression coming in and just getting really pushed off that angle. There's that team support that we were looking for from Sadfrost that's finally coming to fruition here as the Rolling Thunder comes in, opening up the plant site, but they're not taking out any of Vibin out Vex in the process there. Stay. And Batson making their presence known there. Self finally able to try and get some picks out there. 2v3 or 2v4. Sadfrost up 4-2 here. Self does have the ultimate online, but ultimately I don't think it's going to be the best use case for that. 3 down. Beautiful shots there. Neek, last one standing here. 1v3. Able to find another one. 1v2 here. Ultimate online. Probably not going to be used here. Teleport onto the site here. 3 down. Seems to be ready for it. Could have been a fake. Could it not have been? I'm going to check the spike. Go for a tap, but there's no telling where they could be. Going for the stick, but 3 down's going to have the last shot. Hunter's Fury expended. Was that the right choice to make?
I think so. They needed to force them off the spike because once they heard it, they needed to throw everything they had to make sure that that wasn't getting stuck. Worried that with how much time it had been that, you know, if they stick it, it's all over. And that's going to be the big moment that they've gotten to. They need to continue it. There's still a long way to go in this map, though, and they need to stay on their toes, both of these squads.
Absolutely. And looking at the ultimate economy of that last round, two Rolling Thunders expended and a Hunter's Fury expended from Vibin out Vex. And it looks like Vibin out Vex is going to be making their comeback with that Hunter's Fury there. As Wake is going to be able to find a pick. But ultimately, it is traded out. Equalize. Sours going to be able to find Batson. Trying to make their way up into Garage. Wake also trying to get a little bit more information there. But it's going to get stalled out. Sadfrost, 3 players remaining. Vibin out Vex has the From the Shadows to use as a rotating utility should they want it. But Sadfrost, they have a lot of info gathering utility. They got the Neural Theft as it comes out right now. They now know exactly what the entire defense is. And that second pulse shows that nobody really moved there. And they're really spread out here. They got coverage over the entire map. They really don't know where they want to go. And it looks like the spike is going to be headed towards Seaside here. Meek choosing to go from the shadows over to A to try and scout that out. Ultimately cancels that, and Stay realizes that.
30 seconds
Not
left.
sure where it came. Trying to get something going from the shadows once again coming out. Neek trying to make something happen. Stalls.
One enemy
Wake
remaining.
able to find one onto 3 down. Make that third onto Australis, and now it's just Stay. Last one left standing. Spike on the ground. 12 seconds remaining. Can Stay do anything here? 10 seconds left. Nico ready for it. There's one. Able to find it. There's not the second. Wake picks up a 4K, securing 9 and 2.
Last round in the half.
Is this going to be a 9-3 half? Who knows?
It was a really good round coming out from Vibin out there to stifle the attack and get some early frags that allowed them to just play default and then rotate whenever they see the pressure. That's just what they need to continue to do, and they'll do well if they continue that.
Yes, this should do. That goes there.
I completely agree, and it looks like Vibin Vex is choosing to switch up their strategy here, going for a hyper-aggressive C push here.
Careful now.
Having Sova and Cypher info gathers there, stick onto A with such a setup, but it doesn't matter. Sad Frost is just rolling up with that overdrive onto B site, not wanting to wait that one out. Stay able to make such a...
Down B.
There's so much chaos. So many different battles all at the same time, but Sad Frost ultimately did get pushed off a site, unable to plant. They need to get this pick onto Wake. They can't be pinched out. They can't keep doing that again, and there it is. Wake able to find 3 down, leaving Australis the last one alive here. 1v2, using so much utility. No flashes left in the arsenal, and there's nobody on site. 74 HP, tapping the spike, wanting to go in, unsure of where anybody's at. They could be flank, they could be somewhere else, and stun. Once again, there's a TP coming through, and Neek shutting that down. 10-2 going into the second half here. Vibin out Vex with a massive advantage.
I think it was a bigger advantage than anything else that we were that we expected, and for Sad Frost, it's got to be a massive turnaround for them, and we have to see a defensive half for the ages for them to have any shot at taking this series 2-0. But it's all going to come down to, you know, these last few seconds to come up with something for their pistol, because you don't want to be backs against the wall with only being able to drop 2 rounds whenever you have so many that you need to take.
Yeah, it almost needs to be a completely flawless half for the latter half of this match here on Haven, because if you don't have a flawless half here, you drop 1-2 rounds, you're immediately on your back foot and you're 1 round away from having to go to Abyss. And I mean, even right now, Abyss is still such an iffy map that's unpredictable. So many different strategies, so many different metas are still trying to be figured out on Abyss, to where it's unpredictable and you can't rely on a win on such an unpredictable map. So realistically, if Sad Frost wants to find a way to take this match and series into victory, they need to do it here on Haven. But Self is not going to make that easy as they find the first pick. Nico backing off, wanted to go for some garage aggression here. It looks like the target site is C. Going up into garage, making that split happen. Paranoia coming out. Unable to dodge that stun, and so many flashes coming out at once. There's Wake, able to find 2. Stay going to be able to find 1. And
One enemy remaining.
really making the presence known here. Another 3K for Wake. 3 down! The shock dart is perfect. And Wake with another 4K. If you're Sad Frost, you cannot be losing that round.
And I think we're going to Abyss. I'll be honest. I think we're going to see an Abyss map come out, because with this anti-eco, that's going to put them at 12, most likely, unless we see a miracle round coming out from the side of Sad Frost. And with everything that we've seen so far on this map, I don't see it happening, and it's going to make it that much more difficult, you know, for them to make a play.
Yeah, looks like Vibin Vex is wanting to get a little. Sorry, lost my train of thought there. Sad Frost wanting to get a little bit aggressive here in mid, try and take that space. They want to make it happen. And Self, what was that? Well, that was right on Madison. But anyway, back to the action here. Coke's able to find 1. Sour is going to be equalizing that trade there. Stay in the back.
One enemy remaining.
Not able to land any of those shots, but Australis and Batson really shutting it down itself. Last one alive here. Ghost only in hand and 4 players to deal with. Not a very
No more
bad
traps
round to be stuck in here. I mean, 11-2. There's plenty of room to play with. Man, it is not going to be easy for Sad Frost to try and recover this. Up. They're covering all of these angles. That's not able to find the official kill onto there, and the pinch gonna make it fall, securing the anti-eco and almost giving them a bonus going into this round and putting the entirety of Vibin Out Vex onto a Spectre and some Sheriffs and just some classics as well.
Yeah, and for Sad Frost, that's exactly what they needed to make something happen, as every round that goes in their favor is a little bit more that they can make a play with, that they can work with. There's still a long way to go for them before we can say that they're back in this.
Yeah, absolutely, and a lot of these pre-round trips and trying to watch flank, it does help out, but ultimately Vibin.Vex needs to focus on getting these site plants right there, just like that. I mean, Cokes, right place, right time, right when Nico stopped. Self is going to be able to equalize those trades. Now it's a 4v4. 3-Don having to back off the site, make that a 4v3. Vibin.Vex able to get that spike down, and now all in the hands of Sad Frost. What can they make happen, and how are they going to make it happen here? I mean, it's an eco round at best. They can go for spam. They can go for so many different things. It's going to be a tough hold here. I mean, they have pistols. Batson able to find Self. Astralis able to find Wake and Neek. And Batson turning it over. And it looks like Sad Frost may have a chance to bring it back and get some momentum in this game.
Yeah, I mean, what a round. Once again, Sad Frost bringing it back from the brink of despair to make that play. And, I mean, Battison and Australis just coming up huge there in C Long to defend Spike, the Spike defuse, and just put in a lot of work. Just once again, like, you just can't count Sad Frost out even at the depths of despair.
Yeah, that's for sure. And honestly, I think Vibin.Vex did blunder there a little bit. I mean, trying to play post plant from long with pistols only it's an almost impossible task to make happen there. So having to back off and play spam from long, not optimal. Definitely worked out across favor, but we're back onto real guns. We're back onto the big boy buys here. We're gonna have to see what Sad Frost is going to be able to make happen here with their kind of eco buys here. Neek, very, very low on HP. Somehow not getting hit by that aftershock. And Batson just not ready for it. The aftershock meant to clear out Neek, barely missed it. Pixel perfect defense there, but Stay able to equalize that out, taking out Self, taking out typically the lurker there, but little do they know, moving up on C site right into the clutches of the Cypher of Sad Frost there. And there's the execute coming down. 3 down. Is 3 down going to be able to handle this? And looks like it took to back off was a singular Cypher cage. Australia's going to find Neek as well. Now it looks like Vibin.Vex kind of on the back foot. It looks like they have no idea what they want to do here. They got to push in. They got to find some opening to take advantage from. It looks like they're going to try and do that right here, right now, but Cokes is just ready for it. Sour's able to find it, and Australia's finding Nico in the back as well. Is this going to be an almost flawless round from a bonus that's 3 rounds old?
10 seconds left.
Trying to find it, and Wake not going to be able to find anything. And they are going to stay in this game. 6 rounds down now. They were 9 rounds down at the half. They're getting some momentum here.
This is some needed momentum for them. And what a turnaround to say that, I mean, yeah, they have a lot of rounds to go, but unless Vibin Out come up with something on the attack, this is feeling very, very good for Sad Frost here. They seem to have whatever they need in order to make these plays happen. and it's just going better and better for them as these rounds go on.
Yeah, for such an attack, an aggressive team composition, it seems to work really, really well on defense against a mirror comp. Just from what we've been able to gather here and stay with the perfect timing to make it happen. Neek going to be able to find stay, and inching up there, they will be able to convert a weapon into a Vandal.
Spike planted.
Plant goes down. Are they going to do the same? Are they going to try and play for spam? They're going to get aggressive here, try and go for some pick. 3 down, having to back off, doesn't want to get picked back up. But Batson and Coke able to just shut it down. Wow. Just that perfect retake with an out, no less. And that fight continues to happen. Sad Frost is just making ends meet with breadcrumbs here.
It's insane, like absolutely insane coming out from them. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be a buy round coming out from Vibin Out Vex. So it's going to be big guns for both teams once again. But realistically, like Vibin Out, yeah, you might have the same guns, but I don't think you have the same tactics that you need in order to make something happen. Honestly, like they've just been completely being annihilated so far.
Yeah, and most of Sad Frost is maxing out on economy. The only thing they're spending it on is shields and abilities here. And look at Sad Frost's ultimate economy as well. Overdrive, Hunter's Fury, Rolling Thunder, and Put the Shadows all ready to go. Right as I say that, of course, they activate themselves. Going to be able to find one. Put down on 10 HP as that Hunter's Fury isn't able to confirm that kill. Really wanted to run up, wants to try and get a pick before laying down their life. Neek gonna be able to find Cokes and stay, really opening it up. It's a 4v2. Vibin Out, really getting aggressive, really getting confident here. It's the push they needed to try and gain that momentum back and stop Sad Frost in their tracks. They want to bring it to match point. They want to put Sad Frost
Spike planted.
on the back foot, put them off balance, and really just give them a lot to fear about and maybe make them falter. Australia's up in heaven here, but they're not going to be peeking out selfishly. They know they have the player advantage, and they're going to try and abuse it. Neek in heaven, staying here, going to be playing contact for Sours, going to try and put a smoke up, and now 3 down, just cannot push out without fear for their life. But they do not have to fear about any money being an issue here as they are maxed out. Australia's able to find 2, though. Wake finally shutting that down. But I don't think there's enough time. There's no time to defuse. 3 down, has to back off and save.
Unfortunate timings there as it is closer and closer now. Match point for Vibin Out Vex. As Sad Frost want to make a play, they need to not drop a single round for the next 6 rounds. And it's not going to be easy for them. We've seen them almost do it before here in these past few rounds, but there's a lot more that they still have to do. So for Vibin Out, it's all about just continuing this now momentum that you have and closing out the game and forcing Abyss and not letting Sad Frost continue to build back into their round count.
Absolutely, and 3 down, throwing a crazy camera there, able to get some really, really important information right off the bat and immediately drawing a rotate over as well and a really big shift in the defense here. Waiting for that dart to come in. Don't want to get caught off guard with a really fast take here. But Vibin Out Vex is really careful. They're not sure if the entire team is stacked on Seaside or what else is happening here. Stay getting a little bit anxious there, but Self ready for it. Backing off and is going to regroup and readjust and try and find a different pick there as Nico with that overdrive is going to be going out. Going for that pick onto 3 down. Going to take them out. Almost getting Australis there, but Self and Wake are going to pick up their own as well. Australis really holding it down. It's a 3v2 right there. Rolling Thunder comes out, stunning most. Matson not afraid to run in, not afraid to take these angles. Needs to meet up, needs to find some picks. Try and make this a little bit easier on him, but Neek is going to shut down a lot of that hope. Batson, 100 HP remaining. Are they going to be able to make it happen? Taking down Neek. Mike is down. They can play for spam. But oh my gosh, the Rolling Thunder and the Hunter's Fury combination just making it impossible for Batson to make anything happen here. 4 bullets left, and it's not going to be enough. Sours shutting it down. final kill. 13-6 as Vibin out takes Haven.
And it was a dominating 13-6 coming out from Vibin out Vex to put a statement on map 2 saying, yeah, we lost our map pick, but we're going to take yours from you. And we're going to do it in such a fashion that there is no way for you to come back from that. It feels like that mental just domination coming out from Vibin out on their defensive side was crazy to watch, as they took an almost perfect defensive half and then they faltered a little bit on their attack. As for Sad Frost, they had a decent defense. There just wasn't enough left in the tank for them in terms of the round score for them to lose a few rounds and continue on. Because I think if they don't lose as much on that defense, on that attacking side as they did, I think they have a good shot at actually winning that map because their defense looks so good. But that's now in the past. These teams now have to prep for Abyss, one of these firecracker maps, if you can call them, as everything is undecided there.
Absolutely. It's so unpredictable. There's so many different techniques to this map they have to take. There's about an equal chance of you getting killed by Neon as Neon accidentally sliding into the Abyss and taking themselves out of the round. There's so many different shenanigans and so many different plays on this map that I believe we have
A scoreboard ready to go, perhaps.
By coming in here shortly, but I mean, self-topped it, 23 kills to 13 deaths. The next closest was Astralis at 17. It was sad. Had a good look. Just Self was so good. With that, though, we're not going to be able to pull up the scoreboard. There's some slight technical issues with that. We're going to send it to a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be here for map 3 between Sad Frost and Vibin out Vex, and that's going to be Abyss. So don't touch those browsers. Don't go anywhere. You won't want to miss this. We'll be right back.
See you on Abyss.
Hey, what the hell? Why you hanging on the rooftop by yourself? I have an open invitation, but you're telling me go get lost. I don't wanna see your face. Yeah, what the hell? So why don't we stay out till the morning light? Cause 2 wrongs can make a right. We're just doing what we feeling right now. Some Chardonnay, we camp in the parking lot. Leave traces of plastic cups. We're just doing what we feeling right now. So what the hell? Why you hanging on the rooftop by yourself? Always waiting for the one, but I got news for you. I'm the best that you can get, so what the hell? Yeah, what the hell?
Hello,
right,
everybody. Welcome back. Oh, we didn't
Nope.
discuss that beforehand.
No, we didn't. It's okay. I mean, actually, need to look this way to look at you. Anyways, yeah, we're back. We're having a good time. As you can see, we're ready to get into this. The teams are ready to get into this. And it's Abyss. It's something that we talked a little bit about before, Lash. And it's one that is firecrackery in the sense of we don't know what's going to happen. The meta still isn't settled. It's kind of like, Ferrari almost. They could go high. They could just totally drop out and go middle of the pack. You never know what's going to happen with them. But we're going to have a fun time nonetheless.
Oh, I completely agree. I can't wait to see what kind of team compositions they kind of build around. I'm expecting to see a Cypher. Cypher seems to be pretty prevalent on this map. I'm expecting to see a Sova. It really helps with those long range angles and weird elevations, having the sonar dart out there as well. Other than that, I'm really not sure where they kind of want to go with it. I've seen a lot of success with Raze, Jet, Neon, even Reyna like locking down mid in a lot of different ways. So kind of up to each team's strength and what they want to try and pull out here. I mean, ooh, Neek immediately locking in that Yoru. Sours going with Harbor. I can say I'm not surprised to see a Harbor in here. That high tide is very versatile on a map this large. Self going for Cypher as predicted. Nico gonna switch it up, not going on the duelist role this time, but going for Astra on Abyss. Maybe kind of a comfort pick here.
Astra has really been coming out for Abyss. The stars and the smokes that you can bring out, absolutely just one of the best agents for it. And this is a standard for the side of Sad Frost. They play it in the 10X series. They love to play it in open qualifiers to mixed success in open qualifiers. But in the 10X series, they're known to go 13-0, 13-4 in terms of these score lines. So expect a very, very confident Sad Frost on this map right now.
Oh, absolutely. And looking at it, this is the first map in the series that is not a mirror match. We got a Gecko that's coming out. There's a lot of versatility here. There's going to be a lot of different plays, and it's going to be interesting seeing these teams work around utility that they don't themselves have as a part of their team. We got Vadison once again going on Jet. Cokes running up that Sova, really good on it as well. Going to be able to lock that down, 3 down, playing as the Sentinel player once again. We're getting a really, really all-around kind of team chemistry here. I honestly can't wait to see what Neat can do on the Yoru here, as Yoru can be very, very versatile on Abyss with playing around the different drops and different angles, as well as how open it is with the blind sides coming out and just being very, very prevalent and very deadly, really. But I'm seeing a little bit of an interesting start out here from Vibin out as they left the spike in spawn. Going right here, 3 down, spotting out Self. Gonna kind of pull some people over there, maybe draw some rotates. We're really just feeling it out, but Vadison is all the way up into the Vibin out spawn, able to find 1, able to find 2, backing off, still keeping their life. Self trying to go for the pick there, but Nico on the backside is going to put down the rodent that is Batson. Immediately trying to go for some equalizing picks here. It's a 3v3 Wake, able to find mirror trade onto Cokes, shutting down a lot of their info gathering ability, but they still have Gecko. They still have that secondary flash initiator that gives so much utility with Wingman as well as Dizzy. Wash is good for delays as well. Really good utility from Gecko that can be used here on Abyss. Spike still not planted. 30 seconds left. Wake tapping, maybe getting that spike plant out. Dizzy immediately getting shot. Self going to be able to find 3 down, putting them up in the player advantage. But Stay has something to say about it. Seems like nearly every kill so far has been a mirror matchup kill. But Stay going in, wanting to go for some aggression here. Going in, pulling the star back, expecting some utility to come out here from Wake. And man, that spike there on the side is really not good. Wingman going for the defuse, ends up getting destroyed. Stay, last one alive here. Stay versus Self, just ring around the Rosie here. Peeking around the side, the stick is coming through, and it's not going to work out. Vibing out for the 3rd map in a row, pulling out the pistol.
And for Vibin out, they have their pistols down pat. They know how they want to play them. They know what they need to do. And it's always a beauty to watch them. And now, just for the rest of it, we need to see more from them and make sure that they can close out like they did in map 1. Or map 2, I should say.
Yeah, absolutely. If they want any chance of winning here against Sad Frost, they need to build up that momentum, and they can't let it falter even a single bit. As they're immediately looking at some hyper aggressiveness there. Battison gets scanned out, knows they're behind the wall. Vibing out, able to find Stay and Australis. Nico shut down for a 3K with the Guardian. Only with 1 kill that goes the other way. Having to get a really quick rotate here over from Cokes. 3 down is able to try and even the scales here with a pick. Getting some competition over here. 3 down. Presence is known, and Self able to pick it up, leaving it down to just Cokes to watch the entirety of this humongous map. Well, Spike hasn't even been planted yet. There's still a minute left in the round. Really is up to choice here, and Cokes kind of figured out. Looks like there's no sound being made, and the entirety of Vibin out's on the other side of the map here. They really have these first couple of rounds down, and that just the arms advantage that Vibin out has is really showing and is really prevalent. Spike now down. Cokes has only a classic to work with here. Not in any good position to go pick up any other weapons. Not really in a good position for finding any information either without giving up their own. I would say they'd go for a ninja defuse here, but it's just going to be a firing line, destroying a lot of utility there. Throwing that sonar bolt out there, able to find 1, able to find 2. There was hope. What a crazy play there by Cokes.
And for Vibin out Vex, yes, you won the round, but at what cost? You're going to be down to some Sheriffs, the Bulldog, and the Vandal, but it's not going to be easy for you. As whenever you look at these scenarios, you're going to be outgunned, and one thing that Sad Frost is good at is playing with guns. We didn't see it too much last round or last map, but they are really good at it, especially on this map. I've seen them play this map a lot, and yes, they're being contested, but they are not down. They are not out like what we saw with the last map.
Yeah. Absolutely here, and the weapon advantage that they have going into this round is absolutely palpable. As you can see just how hesitant Vibin out is from peeking into any of these angles. I mean, Sad Frost is doubling up. They're playing 2s on every side except for Cypher, who's got his own spy cam, so he doesn't have to worry about peeking out into the unknown. Seeing the 2 up there, knows it's a danger zone and doesn't really want to put that in jeopardy. High Tide rolling out, blocking off a lot of information and giving them a space to work with here as they move over towards the site with little to zero sound being made. Seeing both of those trips is detrimental to Sad Frost. Taking a both out, not being able to get any picks through it, even with all the cyber cages and everything. Oaks trying to help out, but Neek just has such an advantage there. They were able to get that done, and then boom, gate crash out. And immediately able to reposition. Maybe get a rotating pick over in mid. Oh, Australis, very aware of itself. Ready to go, sees the owl drone, going to shoot it down. Nico wants to make sure they're not going to get flanked, but they're spreading themselves so thin. Radisson able to find Self in the back. They keep putting themselves in their crosshair. It's a 3v4. Sad Frost has the advantage here, 2v4. Batson making it a 1v4. Wake finally able to find a pick onto there. Australia's making it happen, but Sad Frost able to pick up a round. It is not going to be looking the same as Haven.
It will not be, as Sad Frost already playing with more confidence than they had on Haven. And with this being a decider, I like the odds for Sad Frost. Vibin out though, putting up a good fight there. Almost had it, just couldn't quite get the post plant that they needed. And again, it's just one of these scenarios where they just need that little bit extra to make it work for them.
Yeah, but here we go. We're having the mirror. We got the weapons back up and going. Battison's going to be choosing to go for that Blade Storm. And that Dimensional Drift coming in as well. It is going to be a tough retake here for Sad Frost. Taking out Cokes, taking out a lot of their information gathering ability here, as Neek has completely cleared out A site. Spike already down. Stay trying to get anything done, but the mosh pit from Astralis able to open up some opportunity. And it's just a standstill now. The retake wanting to come through. Sours ready to go. They're seeing some of those trips coming in. They don't want to get pushed out. That's in trying to find where that trip is at. Aldrone coming out. They get scanned. Gonna be going around the side. Are they expecting? They don't expect it at all. Batson! But Neek up at the top, able to find something, but it's not going to be enough. Put on the back foot once again. 2-2. Tied up here on Abyss.
And once again, just the comfortability on this map for Battison to play out something like that. That was an insane play to come up with for the Jet. It's possible. We've seen it done now. And what a way to do that. Just really well played to come up with something like that, execute it. And it was totally unexpected from the other team. So just really well done there. And that is an MVP play right there if I've ever seen one.
Absolutely, and Batson once again going hyper aggressive here. With the op holding such an intense angle there, but Sours only going for that ultimate orb, wants to get 1 point closer to the Reckoning. Has the spike in hand. I have a feeling the Reckoning is kind of surfacing what their plan is for now. Neek wanting to inch up here, going around that high tide and going to be using it to reposition here, but how much space is he going to be able to gather before Cokes figures it out? I mean, there's a tripwire right there that they've got to get around. So much uncertainty, so much uneasiness in these matches, and there goes the trapwire there. Not able to spot out Neek, but there's the clone making it known that they're right there. Cokes is ready right around the corner, though. Who's going to have the faster draw? It's going to be Neek. Down Batson wanted to peek around the angle, not going to find it, but the double shorty prepared for those close range engagements. Completely setting him on the back foot, but Nico's going to find the pick onto Batson, equalizing that down, but 3 down is not faltering either. Nico wanting to go in, step back a little bit from that neural theft. Nico able to find 3 down, equalizing the numbers, but Nico with another onto Astralis. Stay, last one alive here. Vandal in hand, having to go out, facing a 2v1 here, and possibly one of the worst post-plant situations here, but they have a lot of utility to work with. Still got 1 star that is recharging here. Putting 1 down. Recalling it, maybe getting some false confidence here. Anybody peeking this? Looks like a blind is getting ready to go, and it's full blind out there. Gravity well as well, making it very, very difficult for that to happen. Stun down. Gotta stick it here. Does he have enough time? No! Neek falls. They have enough time to stick it. It's a clutch from Stay.
I'm clenching so hard after that for them. What in the world are they rolling with? Because to just pull something like that out, is insane. To just say, I'm going to stick this, they walk in, I'm going to take the one-tap headshot, and then defuse the spike. Insane work coming out from them right there. From Stay, real so well done, and just the confidence to be able to pull something like that off is immaculate.
Yeah, just unheard of, and that was some pro gameplay level stuff right there. Just able to perfectly counter it, keeping the round advantage, keeping them up in score, and Batson not batting an eye, taking Self out and immediately opening up the site to just rotate right over. It's going to be a full team. Batson knows the Yoru's right there, right around the corner. They see him. Sours planting the spike, and now it's back in the hands of Sad Frost, but Vibin out. They keep backing off to this awkward post-plant position that they really don't have that much of an advantage on. And there it is. The Cosmic Divide making it happen, and Wake with a perfect Hunter's Fury there. Able to clutch it out on the end. Neek. Oh my gosh, they just stuck it. Wingman. And Mosh just making it happen. Australia's really clutching it up at the end there. 4-2. What was that?
Another confidence play, I guess. It was something that I was not expecting to come through at all. And just really well done to understand, like, get that to half. Yes, I go down, but that gives the buddy a chance to get the defuse. Just another really well thought out plan for that kind of post plant scenario.
Yeah, it really came in handy there, unexpected, and it definitely caught Vibin out Vex off guard, because it caught me off guard. I didn't expect it. But coming in here, we do have Vibin out Vex over here on the A site. Neek having to force up. Didn't get any shields, though. Maybe that's just a visual bug. But, oh, the Thrash Detain going very hard. Nico and Self able to find some, opening up the site, but not opening up the round as seen by with rounds prior. So there's two players here on the flank there. Neek knows Batson's right there behind the wall, but Wake falls as well. Now it's just down to 3 down. Able to find one. Going for Sours. Not able to find it. Team Ace from Vibin out Vex, bringing them back to only 1 round down. Round 8 upcoming.
And it's another one of these gonna be slugfest maps from these two squads, just to show how evenly matched they are. Yes, map 2 was dominant in the side of Vibin out Vex, but coming into this map on Sad Frost's territory and to still make it a slugfest like this is one of the hardest things you can do. And for what they have, they're putting in a lot of work. Now, there's still a long way to go for both of these squads, but it's anybody's map right now with how they're playing.
Absolutely. And Neek wanting to go for a similar play there, wanting to get as many ultimate orbs as possible, keep that dimensional drift online, as it's a great scouting tool and a great way to just get behind enemy lines, make stuff happen, stay. Not faltering from that clone whatsoever, as it basically just walked right into the pit. But Cokes has gained so much room up there, and the rotate around is going to be running right into Batson and Cokes. The perfect plays there from Sad Frost. They're hiding behind the walls. They're not peeking out. They're not getting too aggressive, but they're aware. Stealth able to find Batson and maybe getting some false. Some safety there. But, ooh, perfect plant there from Neek. Perfectly timed, and Self able to find another onto Cokes, but Stay is going to end up finding a trade onto Wake. 3 down, falling. Trying to make anything happen. Neek staying very, very vigilant, wanting to stay on site and as active as possible, not wanting any curveballs to be thrown their way. As before, was Neek able to find nothing else to Stay. Just shuts them down, and Nico finally able to clutch that one out, tying it up once again 4-4 on Abyss.
Tying it up 4-4. Now it's going to be another full buy coming out from Sad Frost to hopefully reclaim their lead over Vibin out Vex as it's slipped a little bit now, 4-4 coming into the 9th round, and for both of these squads, they're playing well. Like they're countering what the other team is trying to do constantly, and it's leading to this back and forth where neither's economy is really all that great, and that's something to keep in mind as we get later on into this half.
Absolutely, and looking at just how Stay has these stars set up, it looks like a trap play that's going to be perfect for Australis. Just throw this dizzy flash and just create utter chaos with Batson. There's the turnaround right there, getting scanned out, shutting down the trap play, but is Batson well known there? There's Dizzy coming out, can send some flashes out. Batson able to find Nico, Coke's able to find Wake. In the back, Neek having to back off, even with that dimensional drift, needs to group back up with the team and make sure that absolutely nothing can be safe and well known here. Sad Frost, 2 players up. Bladestorm in hand. I don't believe it'll be used this round, but only time will tell.
Here.
Perfect timing there. But Batson's not able to land that first shot, holding a little bit too close to the angle there. Self going in, wanting to try and secure some equalizing picks here, but ultimately isn't going to be able to find much. The entirety of A side is open, except for that one lone player. There's Australis and Stay, able to make use of their off angles, completely shutting it down, and once again putting Sad Frost up in rounds.
And another well thought out round coming out from Sad Frost that has secured them a decent lead now. They still need to break the economy once again of Vibin out Vex, but it's on the cusp of being broken in the next 2 rounds, and that's something that we're going to have to keep in mind as we get close to the end of this half.
Coming into this round, we see the stack we've been seeing, very, very typical. It looks like Sad Frost is very confident in their site setups that they don't really need to change much. Seems to be flipping back and forth and working out for them very, very well. And Vibin out Vex just keeps rushing it down A site, keeps running into the belly of the beast here. And not expecting to get punished. They're seeing the same amount of utilities, same players. It looks like they're immediately rotating off. They're wanting to book it and bolt it towards B site, leaving the lone lurker to kind of hold it down here. No rotates have come through just yet, but Neek is ready to make the presence known. The camera gets taken out. 3 down now to back up. Self able to find Batson, but a trade does come out, equalizing the numbers, but immediately prompting a rotate over to the other side, over here on B. Sours wanting to inch up. Neek try and play off each other's intel, and there's the Sonar Dart that comes out as well, able to scan Sours. Throwing up a wall, trying to block some cover here. Smokes are falling. Australia's going to be able to find Nico. How many more have to fall? Wake takes down 3 down. Now it's a 3v3. It is slow and painful for these teams. It's an active war zone. Cokes going around the side. Sours able to find 2. Australia says they find 3. Stay inching up. Gonna try and find it. Sours not quick enough on the trigger, but Wake is gonna find it. Tying it up once again, 5-5. Wake is not letting the momentum be gained.
I don't think we could have a closer map 3 here between these 2 squads. 5-5. Through the first 10 rounds, we could be seeing overtime if these 2 teams keep going at it like they are, and we have to see adaptation from somebody here, because right now it's and it's adaptation that has to stick, right? Because for both of these squads, you don't want to see overtime with how close you are, because it can go to anybody's way, and it's such coin flip right there that it's so dangerous for both of them that are playing with such confidence that it's very risky.
Absolutely, and it looks like Vibin out Vex has kind of figured it out here. They have to start going up and taking some initiative there on to B site. There's the Oro clone setting off one of the tripwires, but as we all know now, it doesn't break them permanently. It just lets them know where they're at. Neek now all the way up in the back site without being seen. The plant is going to come out before any rotates really have come out from Sad Frost, and gives them plenty of time to set up a post plant, but they're just falling back once again. Self able to find Australis, needing to back off. The Bladestorm's not enough. Self finds Batson as well. Backing it up, they now have the player advantage. by a long shot here, along with the Reckoning. Gonna make it happen. Stay, though, isn't going anywhere. Self and Sours fall. Nico has to make something happen here and is gonna be able to find 3 down. Stay trying to hold on to the space left here. Wake and Stay fighting for it once again. There's the Aldrome coming out. Stay 7 HP left, and Wake shuts it down once again after Stay puts up a very, very vicious 4K trying to keep him into this round.
And now it's going to have to be a force buy scenario for Sad Frost to bring it even before the end of the half. And Vibin Out has been playing so well to make these plays happen, to turn it back into their favor. And they have mid control, which is so crucial on this map in most of their scenarios, that they're able to rotate freely between A and B site whenever they need to. And it's just another one of these times that for Sad Frost, it's not an easy team. You can't just play this lazily. You have to be making proactive movements that you're thinking about. And if you can start doing that, you're going to do well, but it's going to take you some time.
And there it is once again, the Dimensional Drift and Cosmic Divide coming out, completely taking up B side. And this is what happened to G. And you just kind of let it falter and sit still there. Sad Frost caught on the back foot once again. Vibin Out is just completely abusing the fact that they only leave Sniper on side, but 3 down is going to end up finding the first pick there on Danique. I mean, after the spike's been planted, Self finding Stay as well in the back, creating so much pressure on them. How is this going to be taken? There's Thrash coming out, going to try and find some detains to make it happen. Batson tapping the defuse, able to find one. Astrale's finding another. Bring it up. Self on the back, able to find one. Not going to be able to find a second. Is 3 down. Shuts that one down. Wake almost with, maybe not able to find it. 6-6, closing out the half.
And now it's all about what can Sad Frost do on the defense. They did well. They did decently well on their attack. They have a good idea of what they're trying to do, but there's still a long way to go for these two squads in order to make these plays. They're both playing well and they're both matching each other nicely. The rotates here are what's important, and for Sad Frost on the attack, they need to come up with some big plays here.
Oh, absolutely. It's gonna be a tough play here. Both these teams adapt to each other. They seem to have a very similar, if not identical, skill level here on Abyss. They're adapting to each other. They're adapting to the adaptations. They're making changes. A completely different strategy here from Vibin Out Vex as they're inching up in mid, trying to take this early mid control here. As Neek is going to take first contact here, but it's going to fall first. Well, Batson taking that out. Sours trying to get an equalizing pick there, but ultimately has to wall it off. Has to create some pressure there and some uneasiness from Sad Frost. Not wanting them to push in to that angle, but they're just walking through anyway. There's no punishing. There's no watching that angle. It's just a meaningless wall. Now they have to deal with it. Sours being tagged out there down to half HP. Be able to take out the Dizzy, but getting pinned back into spawn. It is not a good look here. Nico finds Cokes, as well as Batson shutting it down. Evening it up 3-3 as Astralis takes out Nico. So much utility is going to be needed here to clear out a lot of these angles, and it's going to be a firefight here. So unlucky from Astralis self, just shutting it down, able to find 2. Let's just stay. Stay is all that's left. It's a 1v3. Oh my gosh! Able to find Self, just blind through that smoke and put down on 4 HP. It is not going to be an easy recovery there. Both Sours and Wake on low HP here. We're calling that star, wanting to push it back, but they do have spike control there, and Sours going to get the final shot off of there, giving Vibin Out Vex for, I believe, what, the 6th time in a row they've won pistol?
Yep, I think that just continues their pistol dominance here in this series, and they should take now a 2-round lead over Sad Frost, putting Sad Frost in a deficit that we didn't expect them to see in for this matchup, but one that Vibin Out Vex is happy with because they want to close out this series before Sad Frost really get their momentum going on the attacking half. So we'll just have to see what they decide to do, how they decide to play it, because this is still anybody's map.
Absolutely. I mean, even though they won, Vibin Out Vex did win the pistol round, We've seen Sad Frost win these anti-ecos and win these upset rounds and turn it back in their favor and just snowball out of control with momentum. So it's really going to be up to each individual player here and how crisp their aim is, how well of firefights they're willing to take. And Sour's going to end up taking contact on to stay, going to win that one, not with a kill. 3 down, trying to push up here, trying to find some information, ultimately having to back off and reposition, get some high ground, get a little bit better of an angle. But it looks like Sad Frost is going to be moving over to the A site, which happens to be the very, very wrong decision. That is the stacked site for Vibin out Vex here, but they're not contesting it at all. Wake, able to find Cokes, though. Bringing it back, completely putting down that spike. Batson in the back site, though. Cyber Cage makes it well known. Batson able to find Self, shutting down a lot of that Cypher utility and shutting down a lot of that site hold utility in general. Stay able to find Neek as well, but down to 5 HP. 3v3 here. Wake has to get some information before pushing out and dying. A lot of utility being used here. Spike being planted in default, pushing all that out. Gotta wait for these smokes to fall. Not a lot of firepower that Sad Frost has to work with here, but Sours is going to make use of that. Taking down 3 down. Not allowing for a lot of scanning utility here, but Batson out in the back, not wanting any ambushes to happen. Stay up on the backside. Neek. Oh my gosh, Batson!
You outrun me?
Shutting it down like no other. Beautiful 4K. Coming out, securing a tied round. Like I said, we've seen these upsets, and that round was just a testament to the sheer willpower of Batson.
And yeah, I mean, it is insane what just was. Evening up the scoreline once again in a scenario that we weren't. I mean, it's anti-eco. You should. That is typically a win for you, but once again, we show that you cannot discount sheriffs. And now we have ships in the night there. I mean, just, oh my goodness.
Just out in the open, just prey ready to be hunted. And it really caught Vibin out Vex off guard because right now they are on a really, really tough buy here.
Recovering it.
Sad Frost is just swimming in great guns right now. It's gonna be a tough hold here if Vibin out Vex want to try and, oh my gosh. Oh, I was kind of speechless there. Wasn't sure how that was gonna work out, but after the first missed sheriff shot, I gotta say, you had to color me nervous there. But effective nonetheless. Able to convert a sheriff. 1 bullet of a, I guess 2 bullets of a sheriff into a vandal. Wake, maybe gonna be able to do no different there. Batson going up, a little bit too eager. Wake pulling the same shenanigans there. Self finding one as well, but Australis in 3 down, shutting it down. Wingman gonna get that spike. Plant down and ready to go. Australis, perfect timing onto Wake. Now it's a 2v2.
I got you.
Australis trying to get that wingman back up and running. Thrash ready to go, but 3 down. Says, nah, you don't need it. And now it's just down to Nico. Trying to pick up that Vandal, trying to make some ends meet here. It's going to be very volatile, very tough to make this happen. Thrash is online. And there's a camera that can really just shut down a lot of their abilities. And there's Wingman coming out, going to go for the stun, and the spray through the smoke is going to find Australis the 3rd kill there, putting Sad Frost once again up above in rounds.
Yeah, and it's this back and forth slugfest that for Australis, they have the better attack right now. They're able to match out what Vibin out Vex is trying to do, but now into this mostly full buy from both of these squads, this is going to be the big difference maker between them. If you can crack the economy, that's going to be the huge difference maker.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. But now we're on equal guns, equal buys here. It's going to be an interesting tell here. Sad Frost opting to go for a massive ultimate play here, wanting to shut down as much as possible, but Neek's going to shut down those blades right off the bat there, and Sours, just a nasty crossfire here. Able to completely shut down the attacking side, not allowing any of them to go through. Australis and 3 down. down so much on HP. There's not a lot they can do here.
Take flight.
Coaxed. Wanting to go up, getting that Aldrone footage up, trying to spot out, try and find any weakness in their defense, and that shock dart could have been deadly.
Right here.
Dart coming out, hearing two guns fire. They know the entirety of Sad Frost is still right outside of their A site. Blocking it off with as much utility as they can, sending another cascade through as well. This is just a near impregnable defense.
30 seconds left.
It's just a standstill. Both teams don't know what they want to do. I mean, Ice Fire-Eyed, what do you think? Like, what do you think went wrong originally here? Do you think Sad Frost ran in a little bit too aggressive? Like,
It was too aggressive, and then for the rest of Sad Frost, once that happened, and once they realized that no one was really wanting to push in and try to force them out of that position, it was just an unofficial timeout essentially to try to recollect themselves, figure out what they need to do, and move forward. Because you had about 30 seconds, you had about the length of a timeout after that to really come up with a plan of action. So now that they have that, expect and execute here that is going to be difficult for Vibin out to really match.
absolutely. And honestly, I completely agree with you. I think they were a little bit too aggressive, a little bit too antsy. They came off of a really, really hype round that really set them up for an avalanche to start spiraling out of that and get a lot of momentum going, and overcooked a little bit and lost a lot of their space makers, overcommitted some of their ultimates and utility, and ultimately faltered. And once again, Batson just running right into the hailstorm of bullets coming out of Sour's Vandal. Smoked off once again in A main, and will they ever learn? As the Aldrone comes out, going to try and spot something out. They hear it coming, and it spots one in between and sees two more.
You are divided.
Cosmic Divide coming out. Going to allow them a semi-safe passage onto site here, but Astralis is only down to 12 HP here. It's going to be a tough fight. Wingman going for the plant. I think they're going to be playing for spam. Need to back off. This is a interesting Cosmic Divide. Oh my gosh. Able to get it to half. Astralis able to find 3 from that spray. And it is just an awkward situation here for Vibin out Vex. What an interesting situation they got themselves in their Sours. Able to get it out there, but not able to stick it out. It's down to Neek here, and they're able to find it.
Insane work there. And I liked the look that they did with so they threw out the wall from Astra because it then blocks the sound. And then you get the spike down. They don't hear it. They could just see it, and they started and then they started diffusing, which of course then pops up for everybody. And then whenever, they realize that, then everybody flooded in. It's like, no, we got to stop that. And then it was just a collapse from both of the squads that ended up going to the side of Vibin out Vex there, that have now taken back their lead on this map.
Man, it is just a seesaw going back and forth here. Which team is going to find the momentum to bring a couple rounds in a row and be able to secure this victory here? Or are we going to be seeing an overtime? Only time will tell. And it looks like a lot of the game plan here from Sad Frost is abusing Wingman as a sixth man to try and get this spike off here. It's going to end up resulting in a kill, drawing out a lot of fire for itself. Ultimately taking down their main side anchor there. Mike, everyone's got to be on their A game here. And Nico taking full advantage. Perfect angle there, able to find 2. Putting Vibin out Vex once again up in player advantage here. Cokes wanting to jump up, but isn't quite sure what they're going to be able to make happen. Wake shutting it down, 3 down, finding Nico. Cosmic Divide making it impossible for them to win here, and there's Stay. Trying to go in, try and get an exit pick, and there's some momentum that Vibin out Vex really needed to get this match going.
It is something that there's now good separation between these two squads that they really need to make sure that they can come out with and dominate with. Now that they have the 2-round separation, there's a good chance that they can actually win out on this.
Oh, absolutely. And there's a lot of potential, and there's a lot of stuff that they're going to be able to do with the increased round confidence here. I mean, they're not battling whether they're going to be down around or up around or even tied up. They got a little bit of room to breathe here. And how are they going to use it? There's Thrash coming in. Wingman goes down once again. Spike on the floor. Batson stunned. Spotted out. Nico taking advantage of that, but ultimately getting traded out. Self getting spotted out there. 31 HP remaining. It's a 4v4. 2 ultimates online here for Vibin out Vex. If Self can get their eyes on a body of someone from Sad Frost, they're going to be able to activate that neural theft, make it all happen. There's a dimensional drift coming out. Going to add a lot of space to work with here. Sneak is going in for a big nasty play here. Ended up blinding themselves, but right in the back is going to get him stabbed in the back there as Wake. Make that one happen. Now it's a 1v2. Dart broken. Tapping the spike, trying to get a kill here. It's an... Oh, it's the over-under, the high-low. Doesn't work out great. Sad Frost almost evening it up again. 9-10. 1 round down. It's really coming down to the wire here, Fire Ice. Ice Fire Eyed. I'm losing my mind.
It really is, because you could see the botched buy now coming out from Vibin out. They don't want to give over any more rounds because they know that if they do, they're putting themselves in a very precarious, situation. The thing that I worry about is that whenever you have a botched buy like this, if you lose the round, you've totally wrecked your economy. And that could be the nail in the coffin that ends the game for you if you don't win this round.
Oh, absolutely here. And once again, like bringing up what you said, talking about the economy here. They lose this round, they're completely down on economy. They're making use of it. Neek able to find one. Taking down and shutting down their main lurker and kind of opening up the map to a lot more possibility of rotates and a lot of unpredictable things, because they no longer have anybody watching flank there. And wanting to move in here into A heaven. Try and pinch it out, but Wake not wanting it to happen. Going to take out Wingman, denying the plant, but now the spike is completely in the middle of A site here. They've got to capitalize, and they've got to make something happen. There's Stay, able to find Neek. Self trying to get some equalizing picks here, but Astralis has something to say about it. Now Spike in hand, but Nico on the backside able to make it happen instead. They stay in this match. Their eco is not shattered. 9-11 here, back up once again. 2 rounds ahead. And now putting them 1 or 2 rounds away from taking this series home.
Yeah, and it looks like we have a little bit of a tech pause coming through now. One of the players having some issues once again, but for Vibin out Vex, this is their moment to secure the map for themselves, to secure the series. For Sad Frost, you've had a little bit of a falter. You don't have the buy that you want here, and they're forcing into this round to make sure they don't get forced onto match point and try to make a play here. But for Vibin out, you need to hold fast. You need to secure this round, put yourself on the match point, wreck the economy of Sad Frost, and go into the round after with an upper hand when it comes to your economy. It's not going to be easy, but there's a long way to go through that.
Absolutely. And looking at the economy right now for Sad Frost here, they got 2 Vandals. They can't squeak out another. They get no more rifles this round unless they want to opt for a Bulldog with no light shield even with Stay. And that's not really something you want to be pulling out. You want to have as much utility with your controller as possible, especially in these low buy rounds. So it really is a very volatile and very crucial round for Sad Frost to win if they want any chance of bringing this back, because they lose this round, like the next round they can have 3 rifles, but 2 players are going to be on a buy, and it's going to be match point. It's going to be a coin flip if they're going to be able to win the next if they lose this one. So it really just depends.
100%. But while we figure out what is going on with this tech issue and how long it will last, we're going to send it to a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be here for the finale between Sad Frost and Vibin out Vex. You won't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Luxe Series second week. We are in the finale of Vibin Out Vex versus Sad Frost. We just had a bit of a tech pause, a bit of a minor technical difficulty to work out there, but all is fixed, and we are back up and going. We are back into this match right now. We have Sad Frost all on a sheriff buy here,
Careful.
not wanting to risk shattering their economy for a single round loss. Vibin Out Vex 2 rounds away from taking this series to a close. It's all up to now, and Self is starting out strong with the 2K onto Cokes and Battison, setting the precedent that this round is going to be crazy. It's immediately going in. Self just waiting for a bit of aggression to come in here. He made the statement, and now it's time to reap the benefits here, Sours. We're going to jump peek a little bit, get a little bit more information. Self with a third on to stay with little to no retaliation. Wake low on health there, and Self with an ace! Able to make it to match point very dominantly. Oh my gosh.
And that is always fun to watch an ace. And for Vibin Out Vex, this is their moment to shine. Close out right here, dominate throughout this last round, and put Sad Frost down. That's what we want to see. We want to see a clean closeout on this round. And let's see, can Self actually come back with a 30 bomb with another ace? And put themselves on 30 kills for this map? That would be awesome to see, but really it's going to be all about the team play here. Can the team actually close out this win, or are we going to be here for just a little longer until they're able to?
Yeah, and seeing some decent sportsmanship in the chat as well. It's great to that, but okay, well, maybe a little bit of a mix up of team chemistry, but either way, looks like spirits are still high for both these teams. Great to see some good competitive action going in, as always. But Sad Frost going on a little bit more methodical approach here. Wanted to feel it out, make a presence known on A, draw a rotator 2 in, but presence has now been made. Nico immediately saying, hey, everybody, rotate over. It's going crazy over here, and Astralis is throwing in the Thrash to make it happen as well. Ultimately, having to bring it back. Not going to find that much value off of it, but as we all know, Gecko can reclaim that Thrash and use it for a second time in the round. Wanting to get back on site. Beautiful Cosmic Divide there, going down right now. You're going to be able to find one in a trade back from Sours. We having to trade out a lot. There is that second Thrash coming forth once again, but gets taken down. Now Battison taking out Sours, the only flank. Making it all happen right here, and now Beniko shuts it down. Now it's a 3v2 right here. Hunter's Fury finds one shot on the Wake, but that's the end of the Hunter's Fury. That's the end of the ultimate. Now it's Wake once again in a 1v2 situation here. Wanting to ping it out, but the high-low reigns supreme once again. 10 and 12, both double digits. It's now or never for Sad Frost and for Vibin Out Vex as to what's going to happen next.
It's going to be a rough time. You can see that they're having a little bit of an issue with their buy just because they lost so much on that secure of that round that they don't have enough to still full buy up into Vandals and such, Vandals and Phantoms. So it's going to be all about what they're able to do with this little botch situation that they have here. But I would not count that out. You never count out Sad Frost because they can raise some eyebrows.
Going in once again, Astralis on the front, going in, and Drew really catching Self by surprise there, wanting to shoot that dart, but ultimately not going to make it happen. Astralis is going to have to re-put out. Wingman did get shot down, but it comes down to the wire here. Battison and Stay able to make the presence known, but Nico and Neek saying something about it. Bladestorm coming out, going to be able to find Neek in the back. Now it's a 1v3. Up to Wake here to close out this match. Battison going in, not going to be able to make it happen with the Bladestorm. Now it's a 1v2. Wake going out. There's the Recon Bolt coming in. 8 bullets left in the Vandal. Going out and not going to make it happen. 11 to 12. Sad Frost, 1 round away from bringing it to overtime.
It's so close right now. They get a full buy here. They get everything that they need in order to make it happen. They just now need to execute. They've hit B twice. We'll have to see where they go. If they decide to swap it up or say, hey, we've gotten the success that we need on B, let's hit it once again. But it's going to be up to Sad Frost to make it happen. And Vibin out, they just need to chill a little bit, not play as aggressive, not give over these lazy peaks, and come out the victors at the end. Otherwise, it's going to be overtime.
Yeah, and now we got 2 players up to 25 kills. We're really stretching what it means to top frag here in Valorant. And it looks like Sad Frost once again going slow, but they're going for a default this round, switching up what they've been doing with the 5-man rushes the past couple of rounds, trying to catch Vibin out off guard here. Wake wanted to get some information, but ultimately not being able to clear out anything. The perfect awareness there from Neek, though. Able to take out Stay, shutting down all the smoke potential for Sad Frost and a lot of their space-making ability. Sad Frost still has Thrash and Neural Theft online ready to go against the Neural Theft, Dimensional Drift, and Cosmic Divide that Vibin out has in their bank. Madison not wanting any weapons to be picked up or traded out. Self is in a really, really good position here. Able to watch over mid as well as listen for anything happening on B site, but Coax is sneaking up so well. The wingman's kind of giving it away. A recon bolt going out. Self now knows that there's people on site here. Going to go for the spray with the Ares, if possible here. Now it's just the waiting game to wait for the rotates to come through so they have enough utility to retake onto the site here. There's the Thrash coming in. Potentially the first of many going out. And there's the Detain coming out. Nico, Addison in the back. Able to find 3, shutting it down. It's a 2v3 now. Neek needing to make something happen as Coax takes out Self, and Wingman really just chasing Neek down there. Blindside going out, trying to blind something, anything, making it happen. Able to find 1. Astralis ready in the back, ready to make a peek happen. But there it is, Coax up at the top in the off angle, and we are going to overtime.
Economy be damned, ult economy be damned. It is all about what these teams are able to bring to the table right here, right now. It is until someone wins by 2, we are going to be here. And what a comeback from Sad Frost, going down hard in the second map and then going down 4 rounds here, almost losing it out, bringing it back, and now being on the cusp of winning it all here, sending it to overtime. You can't write these storylines any better.
Yeah, you can't make this stuff up. We have 3 players with 25 kills and Nico with 26. I mean, just at the top 2 spots on each of these leaderboards, we have 100 picks out already. It is just an absolute brawl here. Neek, aware that they may have a close pick here they need to take care of, wants to tread carefully here, not wanting to boast in too quickly. Nico also wanting to hold this mid here, not wanting to get flanked off guard by Battison like they did in the first half of this map. And it's just a spread out here. Vibin out Vex going to be moving over to the B site here as they have it mostly cleared out. I mean, it's just 3 down holding the site here, and it didn't work out well for Vibin out Vex. How well is it going to work out for Sad Frost? Those ultimate orbs trying to make something, anything happen here, but Battison made themselves known. Nico going to be in for the firefight of their life here, not wanting to have a detrimental fight there that could end up with a player disadvantage. Going to end up backing off, rotating out, and going to play with the team here. Playing it safe. I'd say that's the right call. Coax going up into heaven. There's the recon bolt, spotting out 2 of them. But ultimately getting swapped out there. There's Self on the off angle. Going to take out 2, including the smokes and the lockdown. Self wanted to go for more. Overheated a bit. There's Battison. Wanting to make it happen. Wake wanting to hold that down. There's Coax, able to find Sours in the back. Neek going back once again, trying to get out of there with the dimensional drift. There's Nico. Using it, and there it is. Beautiful firing line there from Vibin out Vex, putting them up. First round of overtime goes to Vibin out.
Line them up, knock them down. That's what Vibin out is saying in their heads, is that is what happened. And now it is up to Vibin out to close out here on the attack, where they have struggled on this map, but no, they're on the defense now, excuse me, where they have struggled. They've secured their attack. Now they need to secure their defense. It all comes down to this, and whatever can they do. It's going to be rough, but they have to do it now.
I agree. And Australis aware of that recon bolt, immediately breaking it, not allowing for any utility to be known here. And this is really where the adaptations and how good these teams are in chemistry and communication here, because swapping back and forth between defense and offense can really kind of disorient both of these teams into what the strategies are. Neek getting a little bit too antsy there for some information. Going to end up getting punished there by 3 down. Trade almost coming out here. Nico not wanting to overstay their welcome. And there's the execute on the site here, immediately getting pushed out there, and it's just a rush. But Stay in mid, able to keep that control there. Takes out Sowers, is back to a 3v4. Self shuts down Stay. Shutting down one of the highest fraggers in the lobby right now can be absolutely detrimental to Sad Frost here, but they have a very good post-plant setup right now. Astral Stars, they don't have a good firing line here. There's a lot of ways they can block off these sight lines and make a lot happen here, and it's just a stick happening. I think they got it to half there. Cokes able to find Self. Flash is going out as well. Battison finding Wake. Now it's just down to Nico, and it's not going to be enough. 13-13, overtime, round 2.
Switching sides.
It's going to come down to these defense halves for each of these squads. Whoever wins out on their defensive half is going to win out on the series. That's what it comes down to here, and that's what I'd put my money on if I was a betting man, because that's where these teams are struggling.
Yeah, it's all about adaptation. They don't want to get too aggressive. They don't want to overpeak. They don't want to give the opposing team a gunfight that they can guarantee to win. They want to take as many favorable duels as possible in order to take this map to a victory. And both of these teams are just really good at not letting either of them get favorable duels. There's flashes coming out as well, and a lot of fake presence there over onto B. It drew out so many rotates. And now everyone's rotating back around to the A site, but Vibin out did not capitalize quick enough. The rotates are coming way too fast. Stay on site, not hearing any audio cues, but there's the smokes coming out, allowing them onto the site here. Are they going to see the gun coming out? Spray through, try and find something, anything that'll let them escape and get the spike planted, and it's going to go down. And now it's just the waiting game. They got to play the post plant. They can't be too careful here. There's the recon bolt coming out, going to blind Cokes in the Aldro. Not going to let anything happen here, and Shock Bolt is just a massacre of utility. There's Nico down. Sellers activating the Reckoning as well and securing that flawlessly. Flawless site hold there. Flawless post plant.
Match point.
So Vibin out once again, back onto the defense.
Like I said, it's going to come down to who can play out their defensive half and win out on it. That's who's going to take out this series with the W. And it just once again comes down to some interesting choices that have led to another attacker win.
Yeah, I'm seeing some really, really iffy plays, getting a little bit risky here, but you know, that's what happens. We're on a third map. We're on overtime. There's gonna be some misplays. There's gonna be some iffiness there, and there's a trade coming out from Neek. 1 point away from that dimensional drift ultimate here. Australis smoked off there. Perfect time there. Now having to back off, go for that ultimate orb, and maybe live to fight another day. This is now a 4v4. It is slowed to a screeching halt as both these teams try and figure out what their game plan is going to be and what the other team's game plan is. And it's really just up in the air for both of these teams right now. It looks like Sad Frost has decided they want to go for A site here. Still 50 seconds left of the round. They could back off and rotate should they want. But Neek making that call out, not wanting to get a little bit too antsy here, not wanting to peek out too aggressively. There's the spike plant that's come down. Neek Wanted to peek out slowly, almost getting the head taken off. Lead lobotomy from Battison. Nico is going to clean that one up as well. Back down to a 3v3, and it's a great post-plant position there for Sad Frost. The camera, very interesting spot there. Located on the spike, and there's going to be some sprays coming through as well. Self just holding back right there. Australia's going to be able to find it. There's the Thrash coming in. Going to be able to find some detains. But ultimately not going to hit anybody. Sours wanted to go off of there. Able to find one. Able to find two, but not going to end up finding it. Sad Frost once again winning the attacking side. Welcome to round 29 to everybody.
Defense. Defense. Seriously, that's what we need. We just need to transport a crowd from a basketball stadium to here or football, doesn't matter, and just have them start shouting defense to one of these squads because that's what we need to see now. Someone needs to step up on defense and win out because that's what's going to be the difference maker here. It's not your attacking half because both of these attacks are good. It's the defensive halves that are not working out in their favor.
Yeah, and I don't know if we've noticed this, if y'all have noticed this yet, but 2 players on Vibin Out have officially surpassed the 30 bomb. It's making such an aggressive impact on these games and really just securing a lot of potential there. Battison seen with the op. That's the glass cannon in mid. And it looks like Vibin Out is going to try and capitalize off of that over-aggressive gunpowder there in mid. Taking A, and Spike is down, and Rotate still haven't come out yet. Stay trying to draw some fire. Australis grouping up 2 players there, trying to make something happen, wanting to drop some smokes, wanting to make anything happen, but Stay is going to be able to find Self. Going to shut down some of their scouting utility there. But ultimately, oh my gosh, Battison and Australis able to find them through the smoke, able to make it happen there. Stay with another. Spraying through. Australis with a molly kill onto Battison. Friendly fire only, I suppose. And Stay is going to find a third for the round. Wingman gets the defuse. And finally, we get a win on the defensive side.
And that should be it. At this point, with what we've seen so far, Sad should be able to close out, but who knows? Honestly, because at this point, anything goes. And yes, I said that defense should win out, and then that should be it because the attacking sides are so clean. But at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Vibin Out Vex decide to step up and make a play happen, but we'll just have to wait and see.
It is going to be a rough defense here for Vibin Out Vex. Given the past history, I bet they were banking on that attacking victory right there. They're really put in a tough spot here as their attacking side, or as their defending side, has not been optimal this game, as shown right there. Australis is going to be able to find the first pick and immediately shutting down a lot of the map wide holding ability that they have. I mean, no smokes left. No concusses, no more utility from that Astra, and it's going to be absolutely detrimental there. Jump peeks coming out from Neek, trying to spot anything. Here's a lot of noise. There's the Wingman coming in, going for the plant. There's going to be no kill based off of that. Australis taking so much damage there. Stay, going to be able to find Wake. Neek trying to back off, trying to keep their life on the line there. Australis is going to be going in, trying to get that pick once again. And there it is, Self! The redeeming Self is Sours and Neek able to make it happen. Is this really the defending side that we've seen before?
At this point, I don't know what's happening. I'm just here for a good time at this point and hope that this, will end before dinner time for me, because what a series. What a map. We're going into the 31st round with no clear winner at this point.
We are completely tied up. Guaranteed 2 more rounds. And we do not have an idea of who's going to be winning this match. This is what I love to see. And also 33 kills from Self and 31 kills from Nico. They are throwing down. Once again, 15-15 going in. Self spearheading this entire division here. Also wanting to go up into mid, not wanting to allow any flanks to go unnoticed here, as Battison is inching up into mid, and a very, very heavy take here onto site. Neek almost stepping off there, but 3 down. Shutting down Self and Neek. A lot of space taking and site holding ability has just been completely crippled and taken out of the game here. Shock darts coming through, so much chip damage. Nico finally able to take down the Titan of B-site here. 3 down. Australia's able to find one. Sours able to try and even the scoreboard here, but both Sours and Wake are very, very low HP, and Battison around the backside.
Enemy remaining.
Seeing the potential here, able to find one, able to find the second. And that is the 16th round in the hands of Sad Frost.
We now have 3 players above that 30 bomb mark. Astralis is sitting at 29. Every single player has above 10 kills, and it is never ending. With now flopped from defense to attack. Those defensive chants seem to work to reinvigorate both sides to make plays happen, but on the defensive side, now it's all up to who can win their attacking side, and that is what we are waiting to see now.
The entire script of this game is flipped. It's turned from an attack-sided to a defensive-sided map. It appears, you know, Ice Fire, I think they seem to have adapted a little bit too well. And now it's just a competition of firepower here, and maybe a little bit of luck in playmaking ability there. And there's the scan coming through. Neek barely able to make it out of there with their life, but Wake's gonna be able to find the first pick right off the bat there. Cokes trying to get an equalizing pick there, gonna make it happen. 4v4 now. Spike plant going down in the hands of Wingman. Self taken down 2. Spike has been planted. Now it's just down to 3 down. And Australia's here in the back to try and win this post plant here. Try and close out this match, but it's not going to be an easy one. It's a 2v4. Australia's able to find Neek. Able to find Sours as well. Taking turns, spraying these down. It's one after another, and they don't make it happen. Nico clutches it out. 16-16. Welcome, everybody, to round 33.
Yeah, it's good.
This is deeper than I've ever gone before when it comes to Valorant. The amount of just back and forth these two teams have put together, it's unrivaled in how tied up these teams are, with how close they are. Anything and everything goes at this point. And hopefully one of these teams can adapt enough to bring out the W, because this can go on for ages.
It really can, and you know, just between you and me, I really don't want this to turn into a 25 or like a 58 round match, because I've been in one of those before.
Please no.
I've been in one of those before. It was on Bind, and it was crazy, and it actually was very, very similar to this. Just trying both teams just dead set on winning this overtime and not giving up and getting new strategies and pulling out insane clutches. It's just one after another here. It's really going to come down to individual performance and just endurance from these teams. And it's just a standstill. This is one thing we haven't really seen in overtime, is just how slow this one's going. And 3 down's going to end up finding first contact onto there. Estrela's taking second, but falling. Cokes having to get backed up there. Battison finding Neek. Duelist on duelist brawl, and it's going to end up coming out on the side of Sad Frost there. And it's a beautiful take there from Stay. Able to find 1, 2. Can they make it 3? Yes, they can. Quick overtime round. Only overtime round that hasn't had a spike plant so far. Is that a sign of things to come?
Maybe, maybe not. We say certain things should happen, and then the opposite happens. So maybe it's going to be the defensive half. Yeah, hopefully, you know, Bad Frost, close it out here. Like, you guys are evenly matched, but you've had really good attack halves for both of these squads. Just step up on your attack half now and secure the W. This is what we want to see. This is what we've been waiting for. We are all tired. We are all going delirious, but we are having an excellent time.
I think it's going to come down to who has the most caffeine at this point. It's an endurance race. Both these teams are so evenly matched and so worn out that it's really going to come down to who's going to be more aware, who's going to make the better plays, and who it's turned into less who's going to make the better plays and who's not going to mess up the most. It's turned into a fault type match here. Battison updrafting, going for those, going to take out Self, deactivating all the Cypher utility on site here, making it happen, and Estrela's sending out Wingman, getting that spike plant down. This is the opportunity that Sad Frost has needed. Up in player advantage. They have the spike down, and rotates are barely coming in. This is the most optimal situation for Sad Frost. Can they make use of it? Taking out, finding Neek, having to jump down there. Nico on there, waiting for a peek. Going around the back. Dangerous move, and it's not going to pay off as Battison put them down. Sours able to finally get that trade onto there, but a beautiful shock dart from Cokes is going to leave it down to just Sours. Is Sours going to be able to pull it back? It's a 1v4. It's not going to happen. And Cokes with the 3K is going to solidify their victory. 18-16, everybody. 34 rounds. And it has come to a close. Sad Frost take the victory after a grueling amount of overtime. How are you feeling over there, Ice Fire Eyed?
I'm speechless. It's finally over, and looking at what we have, looking at the scoreboard right now, 12 plants for Astralis, 4 players with 30 bombs stay on the edge of having that 30 bomb. Between Nico and Self, they have 35 and 36 kills respectively. Just insane work from both of these squads. Both squads can hold their head high, knowing that they played well today. It has been an unreal night of Valorant, back and forth among the maps, among the rounds, and then finally, 18-16 finally ends it out on Abyss in what a crazy, crazy map, and what a crazy series we've had between these two squads.
Yeah, they've been duking it out since Ascent. I mean, going back and forth on Ascent, ending 9-13, and then immediately going on to Haven and vibing out, potentially having one of the greatest defensive holds they've ever had on Ascent. And then moving on to Abyss, of just how back and forth it was. This series really came full circle, and it really shows how competitive and how close a lot of these teams are to each other in skill level. And it comes down to like little falters like those, a little bit too much aggression here, a little bit too much passiveness here. It adds up all, and it comes out to a 34 round game on Abyss, something I have yet to see, and that is the second longest game I've been a part of, just in my entire career of commentating these, next to my 58 round game, which we don't talk about. But either way, I think that's going to be it from us today. I know that everyone wants to go home, get off, and get some food to eat. I know that's true for all of us in the production team. So big thanks to everybody in the Luxe series production team for having us out. Big thanks to Zane for being our producer today, and then also big thanks to Ice Fire for observing and doing the analyst casting today from some technical difficulties. So great job there, everyone. But you got some closing words for us?
Just this is what you get out of the Luxe series. This is why the Luxe series exists, is for gameplay and for series like this. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you on Wednesday for the next matchup between, if I can pull it up really quickly, it's going to be Aeronite versus Sad. So you won't want to miss that one. It could be an explosive one like tonight. So we'll see you then.
Yep. See you guys.